the facility. He suffered an injury in Monday's practice. Bland missed 10 games last year with a foot fracture. ESPN's Todd Archer reports this injury could cost him a couple of ball games. Well, the San Francisco 49ers will be without quarterback Brock Purdy, for 2 to 5 weeks. He deals with a turf toe injury. Mac Jones will get the start for San Fran in his absence.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylow.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday. We do have a football game tonight, NFL variety. It's going to be fun. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and we are live at the Stout House at City Base.
The Brooks City Base.
City Base.
Right here off of Southeast Military. Come hang out with us. Great football game tonight, Washington and Green Bay. And I tell you, this week, yesterday, even this morning, friends texting me, hey, do you have tickets to Noche UFC? Like, we do actually, but you got to come try to win them out at Stout House. It's not like, we just carry around extra tickets in our pocket. So it's interesting the week of, like a lot of things in San Antonio, the late arriving crowd, there's going to be a big thing happening. I want to go. Let me go get my tickets. So seems like over the last couple of days, a lot of people, at least personal friends of mine, saying, hey, you got tickets for that?
It used to happen to me on TV. I know it's happened to you for years, too. People you're right. They think we carry tickets around in our pocket just to give away to everybody.
Yep, my name is not
somebody
Ticketmaster.
that knows somebody that knows somebody and all of that. But look, we're giving you an opportunity. All you have to do is come out to the Stout House, Brooks City Base. You register. Our good friends from Bud Light are here, and they're providing the tickets, actually.
Yep.
So we're going to draw towards the end of the show today, and somebody's going to win a pair of tickets to this Saturday's event.
Absolutely. Again, Noche UFC Saturday night. And you're right. It's like we're Ticketmaster. My kid thinks I'm Ticketmaster. Hey, can we get tickets? And sure, and you end up buying them. I'm not buying for all my friends now. Again, you can win them. I've got a ticket guy if you need that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, John over at Awesome Tickets. But I'll tell you, it is kind of crazy that week of the event, the amount of buzz that this fight this fight card is now getting for Noche UFC.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be a fun night inside the Frost Bank Center, without a doubt. And when you've got Lopez and Silva, the headliners out there, but you can win tickets. You can go for free on Bud Light and San Antonio Sports Star. All you have to do is get down here to the Stout House, Brooks City Base. And I'm going to turn the camera. If you're watching on YouTube, Pledge, I don't know if you can fire this up, but that's Edwin over there. Now, when you walk through the door, you see Edwin, and he's going to get you registered. And then right behind Edwin are the Bud Light girls. Hey, girls, can y'all wave to the camera?
Yeah, they're not paying attention.
Hello.
To you. Yeah.
Hello.
Can they hear us?
Hey, Edwin, can y'all wave to the camera?
There we go.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see. And if you move your camera over to your left a little bit, there is Kat.
There's Kat right there. Hi, Kat.
Kat will make sure you get everything you need to make sure you're not thirsty while you're down here at the Stout House. And it's funny because, the morning show, they've got that kitty big balls. And at least this afternoon, we've got Kat.
We've got Kat. Big, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I
show
love
wins yet again.
Yes. So get on down here and have some fun with us. The Stout House, Brooks City Base, and register to win some tickets. Love the fact that we've got a little NFL football, but I'd be remiss, Jason. It's the 24th anniversary of 9/11 today.
It is, and it's crazy to think that was 24 years ago.
I know it.
And then it feels like, I don't know. I mean, everybody knows where they were that day. And mind you, 24 years ago, I wasn't that far removed from living in New York City. And I used to have an apartment on East 86 and 3rd while I was in the Navy. Me and some dudes, we had the apartment while we were stationed on the USS Seattle in Earl, New Jersey, Naval Weapons Station Earl. And so a lot of those areas, but also friends. And the idea when I heard initially that a plane had hit the tower, I was doing the morning show at KNBT 92.1 in New Braunfels at the time. And my first thought was, my goodness, I can't believe it, because there's so much air traffic. And then the second one, you knew exactly what was going on. And from there, you go from, fun morning show to wall-to-wall news and just watching the news and the devastation that was.
Yeah, I tell you what, I remember it. I was awakened to that news and didn't even have to go to work that day.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was with the TV station and asked if I could help. There was nothing I could do, so I just sat around and watched everything as it unfolded. Just a devastating day, and I know they've been having on all the news channels this morning all the remembrances and ceremonies and everything that they have. But it remiss if we didn't at least mention that is happening today. And 24 years, that's incredible that it's been that many years.
Well, and you think about the 24 years, the lifetimes that didn't get lived, the kids that grew up without parents that are now young adults, because time does continue. And then you think about, the darkest day in our country's history, the 24th anniversary, and then you couple that with what happened yesterday, and you just think, at that time, the one thing that event did is it brought us all together as one, and sports played a huge part in
huge role in that. Yes,
and you go back, 24 years ago, and the weeks and the months that followed, where everybody was proud to be an American, and it didn't matter if you disagreed on this or that. It was all one, and now it just feels like just such the opposite. And again, heavy because of what did happen yesterday, regardless of what you think of the guy. Nobody should have to. And again, their kids are going to see that video forever. The fact that that's so available on all the social media, and some people celebrating that. You should, again, even if you disagree with them, to celebrate that, it's just a weird spot that we are in this country right now.
Yeah, we're such a divided country right now. We really are, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. And it's unfortunate that we're that way. But Minix and I like to do everything we can to bring everybody together. We talk sports because everybody likes sports. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody wants to say something about something.
Well, and that's, in our world, and again, we're in the toy department. I realize that. Joe and I, our job is everybody else's hobby. I get that. We use the term sports hate because do we really hate somebody? No. But sports hate. Anybody that wears yellow pants, or Kawhi's on TV right now. That's legit sports hate. But I don't want anything bad to happen to the guy, right? But it's different when in the sports world when you have those kinds of debates, and we can disagree on Dak Prescott. For he might be one of the more polarizing guys, but nobody wants to see the guy hurt. Nobody, it's just. Like I said, I like being in the toy department.
I kind of like it too. And tonight, Washington and Green Bay, and
two teams I hate.
Both. I'm not a fan of either one. But what I find interesting in this thing, and I love the NFL because it's a week-to-week league, and I love the fact that it is. So if you played well last week, doesn't mean you're going to play well this week, or poorly last week doesn't mean it's going to be poor this week. And I find it interesting, as well as Green Bay played last week against the Detroit Lions, they're still only a 3 or 3.5 point favorite, depending on where you're at. And look, the Command Skins beat the Giants, and they look decent doing it, but I wouldn't say it was a dominating performance by any stretch of the imagination. But Las Vegas knows, so they're predicting a close football game tonight, and I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a good one.
Well, and you talk about Vegas knowing. Right now, according to Circa, the Packers are a 3.5 point favorite in tonight's game. And the old saying, you get 3 for just being at home. And I don't know if that's necessarily still true, but that was always kind of the rule we grew up with. Home team, you start at 3 and kind of go from there. But again, short week for both of these teams. Washington is the team that had to travel. Micah, not a full week to get his back 100% healthy if it was actually ever hurt. But also not a lot of practice time, as Micah played about half the snaps defensively last week. How many more is he going to get tonight, if at all, because you don't get that full recovery time? And if he truly is dealing with a back and had to get the shot to play last week in the opener against Detroit, how effective is Micah going to be against an extremely mobile quarterback in Jaden Daniels?
He had a shot of tequila. That's about all he had to do to get that.
Stop.
He's got Dan Quinn coming in tonight. He wants to impress his former defensive coordinator, I'm sure. So Micah will be there, but you're right. Jaden Daniels certainly a little bit different target than a Jared Goff. Goff, more of a statue. Jaden Daniels can move around in the pocket and make things happen. So a little bit different there. And I think it's going to be a fun game because I may be the only one, and maybe I'm a little biased because I'm not a huge fan of that number 1 guy, but
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But I just don't see all the hype for Green Bay.
Don't.
I don't. Now they looked great last week, but all right, it was last week. Can they put 2 together? I'm not sure that they can. Although I did pick them.
I can't wait till week 13. You're like, they've done it 13 weeks, but can they do it 14?
Well, if they're 13-0, dude, then I'm going to be a believer.
No, I don't know about that.
No, I will be.
We'll take
doubt.
you 19.
Now, I did take Green Bay in the San Antonio Sports Star or SA Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em Challenge.
Yep.
But I don't know that I'm going to put money on Green Bay tonight. If it stays at 3 and a hook, I might be taking the Command Skins tonight.
It's going to be interesting. Should be a very fun game. And, on Prime, and the fact that we're getting remember when Thursday night games are always dogs?
Yes.
I'm glad that we've got a great game that you want to get to a place to watch, like where we are right now, Stout House on City Base off of a Military, or your house, or wherever you're going. You've got a good game to go home or get to where you're going when you get off of work, because this is one of those games that you're going to want to watch.
Well, no doubt. And if you can't watch it, we've got it for you right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So either way, you are covered. If you have to be out and about driving around, you can listen to it on the radio. If not, well, you can get it on TV. But I think it's going to be a fun game, and one of those, again, that will come down to the wire. Last Thursday night game was pretty good.
Yeah.
Cowboys and those Eagles.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Uh-huh.
We are at the Stout House. That's where we're at, Brook City base. Come on out and see us. UFC Noche. You have a chance to win a pair of tickets to that big event on Saturday, September the 13th at the Frostbank Center. Our good friends with Bud Light are here, and the girls are here. They're passing out Bud Light, by the way, and they're not taking any money from anybody. So that tells me as long as the Bud Light girls are here and you want a cold Bud Light, you can certainly get one if you come down here. Again, we'll draw for those tickets coming up toward the end of the show today. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little Dallas Cowboys football because, DaRon Bland, bad news for him, and George Pickens says a few things you might be surprised to hear. We'll do all of that as we continue live from the Stout House Brook City base on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We do have Thursday night football tonight because football is back. And, Underdog is the best place for you to go make your picks all season and, of course, win money. Of course, you can play in Texas. Love playing the Pick'em game. In fact, just made an entry because I had a 75% profit boost on the entry. Jaden Daniels higher than 31.5 pass attempts. Deebo Samuel higher than 54.5 receiving yards. Brandon McManus, how many field goals? Higher than 1.5. I'm going to build that entry out. Probably look at what Jordan Love is looking at. And the one I'm debating is Micah Parsons. Does he get higher or lower than half a sack tonight? So download the Underdog app. Use my promo code STAR when you get signed up to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Promo code STAR when you get signed up and download the Underdog app. Make your picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The Cowboys take on the New York Giants at home. Pregame at 11.
I like this kind of party.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim B.
You like that? How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery. I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a football Friday on the Morning Huddle. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys. Can they get to 1-1?
We'll figure it out with Coach Schottenheimer. Yeah, he'll join us early. You need to be here first. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It sure is. And we're live out at the Stout House, Brook City base. And you need to be here as well. Our good friends with Bud Light are here, and you can register to win a pair of tickets to Noche UFC taking place this Saturday night out at the Frost Bank Center. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Ryan-Eagle. He is Jason Minix.
And glad to have you along on this Thursday. Big football game tonight. Come hang out with us here at the Stout House, Brook City base. If you're watching on YouTube, always comment there. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. It is interesting that Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens was one that was made available to the media yesterday, because after what I saw this morning on TV, I think there'd be a lot of other questions for one, Mr. Pickens. And, you know, it might be something that we ask Stephen Jones when he joins us coming up at 4:30. Or when Schottenheimer is on with the Morning Huddle tomorrow, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Because this morning, Dan Orlovsky obliterated Pickens for being lazy. Lazy routes. And the eye in the sky doesn't lie. You know, the film, you know, there's a run play. And, you know, he's kind of half-ass jogging his route. Doesn't get his block and on the safety, and the safety is the one that makes the tackle. There was a handful of examples like that, and I thought it was a little surprising because, quite frankly, you know, we don't get that kind of film study. And when you see the highlights, I'm more worried about why didn't he get more targets. And now I'm starting to wonder if some of those targets, were they not there? Because as Orlovsky pointed out this morning on Get Up, there were some routes where he's kind of being lazy on them, where he wasn't the first option. And then when Dak started to look, he wasn't where he needed to be, and Dak had to go somewhere else with the ball.
Well, you know what? That's the knock on Pickens.
Yep.
And always has been. If he's not involved in the play, not the first option, then he has a tendency to be a little bit lazy and not do what he's supposed to do. Blocking assignments, those kinds of things. It's always been a knock on him. So hopefully that won't be the case moving forward. But I saw a lot of that. It was on the internet after that game and over the weekend with people pointing out that George Pickens was just kind of half-assing it a lot of the time when he wasn't involved in the main play.
Well, and again, and he didn't get targeted enough, especially for those that have Mr. Pickens on your fantasy teams, although he says all the right things when he talked to the media, like he's focused on wins, not targets.
Really just staying open for them. You see what I mean? I'm not really worried about the touches, catches, all this stuff. I'm just trying to stay open for the team. Like I said, I'm trying to focus on the first win.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to say, but film doesn't lie. And you're right. I mean, there was lots of Pickens, whatchamacallit, on Twitter. But, you know, I always, when I see somebody clip something on Twitter, depending on who it is, I always take it with a grain of salt because I need more context. And that's what Orlovsky was really pointing out today, you know, what the play and the concept on that particular play was likely to be, as opposed to look at them just half-assing this one, which is what typically you see on Twitter.
Well, it was the same with the Arch Manning video, right?
Yeah.
Where he's wincing. And there's one play where he's wincing.
Yeah.
Everybody took that and ran with it. I understand what you're talking about. And Orlovsky pointing that out today. I wonder why it took him till today to point that out, because it's been out there for a while. But I guess they needed some content.
It's been a week, and you always have to have your Cowboys context. And again, you know, Pickens, a little feisty, had that one bad penalty. He does like to play on the edge.
That's when I would probably talk about it. That's why I said the penalty in myself, because that's a play where you don't want to go over the edge and get a 15-yard penalty and take us out. Like I said, Miles fumbled. So you just want to be competitive, but not over the edge.
Yeah, be prepared, but not over the edge. Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but okay. Look, I think they will, and we'll have to ask Stephen Jones when he joins us at 4:30 about that, and maybe what the game plan is. Is there a game plan to get him more involved, and or do you go back to CD Lamb to get his confidence back after he dropped 4 balls in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles last Thursday?
It's interesting because they're going to have to. The reality is, now that Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer, CeeDee Lamb is probably the best overall player on your football team, right?
Okay.
And when your best football player can't really have a day like CD had last week and you expect to win. They had opportunities to win, but their best player let them down with those drops. I think Dak is probably the most important, but CD is your best player. Those two guys can't have an off day, and you think you've got a chance to win. CD had that. And while CD didn't talk to the media yesterday, Pickens talked about a receiver's mentality after a game where you have the dropsies.
It's not, you never want to mess up, but I feel like he's going to come back and bounce back. I feel like mentality-wise, you can only get better from doing something bad. That's what I'm saying. So he's going to definitely get better.
I don't think there's any question about it. The guys over the last several years has had a problem with drop balls.
Wow.
It has been a problem. But look, they need him. I mean, they got to have him. Pickens is no good without CD and vice versa in this situation. That's when they went out and got him. So CD's got to make those catches, and then that's going to open up things for Pickens on the other side. So I don't know. And CD did a great job of running routes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was open a lot, and Dak hit him right in the hands, and whoops, he just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, it happens. Although,
it happens.
It's interesting because we watch on television, or if you're at the game, you're watching, and you see the way somebody's acting, right? We're making a lot of judgments on George Pickens because of what we've visually seen. And we have seen him seemingly explode on the sidelines. Malik Neighbors, after week 1, already looks frustrated with Russell Wilson as his quarterback. Right? Already looks frustrated. There was his going back and forth with Dayball. There was him with the towel on his head. There was pictures of him looking frustrated. And he said to the media yesterday, guys, relax. Dude, I have resting bitch face.
I got an NBF. I got a natural bitch face. That's just what it is. It's my face. I don't know. Like, when y'all talk to me, I look the same way every time. I don't know just how I am, but I guess I got a small one.
Any play in particular that's sticking at you right now?
Just 12 targets and 5 catches. Just not how I want to end the day off. I know everybody was more focused on just me overall being mad I wasn't getting the ball, and that wasn't at all what I was being, what I was concerned about. I had 12 targets, so why would I argue about getting the ball if I had 12 targets? But just overall, just how I played, and I don't think that why I was frustrated. Like I said, I was trying to get the offense going. I was trying to get people to let's get rolling. The lights was on, the game was on. It's time to play. I feel like that just got pushed over. And everybody was talking about just how I was had attitude and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't have attitude. I got resting bitch face. That's how I look.
George Pickens and Neighbors could probably talk because Pickens got a little frustrated with Russell Wilson from time to time as well. So, again, my thoughts on Russell Wilson. And you watch the guy who played lights out this week against Dallas. But, well, I agree. And I think he is a bum. I think he's cooked. I mean, I really do. I think he's cooked, and I think his better days are behind him. And the only reason I think he starts this game and probably moving forward is to just give Jackson Dart an opportunity to slide in there and feel comfortable with what he's doing with the Giants.
For Ryan Day, and it may be just too early. Maybe just too early for them to go with the rookie. But they brought in Russell Wilson, and they're giving him every opportunity. It's not like he's making a ton of money. And, if he has another bad game, honestly, I don't know that I'd be surprised if the Cowboys are winning big in the halftime. Man, I hope that's the case. That Jackson starts the second half. I just wonder how long of a leash does Russell have? And when you have a quarterback with the history and the resume that Russell Wilson has, there is a level of respect that comes with that teams, I think, try to honor. But at some point, it's the guys in the locker room. And you just heard it. Whether he's got resting bitch face or not, dude was frustrated.
Yeah.
He was targeted 12 times. He wasn't mad at the targets. But of those 12 targets, and I don't know the numbers because I didn't watch the game from start to finish, but when you watch some of the lowlights, if you will, yeah, he was targeted, but there was such a low percentage of catch probability on some of those. He's probably mad that he gets credit for a target on that because there was no real chance. I'm going to use an example that will go right over Ryan Nagel's head.
Probably.
But in hockey, you get credit for a shot, and the goalie save average on a shot on goal, it has to be within the net. In other words, if it just misses the net, that doesn't count. So that, your saves against is not on like shots coming at you. They actually would have to go in. I wonder if targets need to be reevaluated. Like, yeah, you had 12 targets and 5 catches, but of your 12 targets, only 8 were actually catchable passes.
Yeah, see, that's another reason not to watch hockey.
What?
I mean, if a guy is shooting towards the net, that's a shot on goal.
Well, no, because you just used the term on goal. It would have missed the goal, so it doesn't count as a shot.
Was he trying to make it?
Well, I would hope.
Okay.
But if you had no chance of making it, it doesn't count. If it would not have scored if the goalie didn't stop it, right? You might just, if it's an empty net, like at the end of the game, and you take a shot and miss, that does not count as a shot on goal.
Wow.
Because it didn't score. It's got to actually go in the net for it to count as a shot.
That makes absolutely no sense.
It makes all the sense in the world.
It makes no sense
at
all.
See, golfer mentality, right? How many times you just pick it up on a gimme putt so you don't even have to try? But, that 6-inch putt that you just missed, now you 2-putted. It was a gimme, right?
I don't miss 6-inch putts first and foremost. So I'm just saying.
I played golf.
I'm just saying.
I mean, actually, you're right because you've never been within 6 inches to tap it in,
dude. If you're shooting at the goal and trying to score, that is a shot on goal.
It's not.
It is.
It's a shot, not on goal.
Well, that's a dumb rule.
It's not a dumb rule.
It's a dumb rule.
Uh-huh.
So every other shot, if you're trying to make a basket and 3-pointer, you shoot and you miss the basket. That's a shot.
It is.
So hockey's the only sport.
Well, did you see what basketball is doing, though, as you talk about that? If you heave one from half court or further back at the end of a quarter or half, that's now not going to go against your individual shooting percentage when you miss it.
Well, see, that's dumb, too.
See?
You're taking a shot. It should count as a shot.
A shot, yes. A shot on goal, no.
What is he shooting at, then?
In hockey.
He's shooting at the basket.
Yes.
He's trying to make it.
Yes.
The guy with the hockey player. He's trying to make
Somebody
it.
help
That
Ryan
is a shot on goal, period. It's a dumb rule, Minix. Just a dumb rule.
It's not a dumb rule.
It's a completely dumb rule.
It's not a dumb rule.
Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree, as they say.
Well, you got to understand hockey first.
Well, I understand that that's a dumb rule. How about that?
Understand the rule.
It's a dumb rule.
Yeah, okay.
All right. There is a big game tonight between the Command Skins and the Packers at Lambeau Field. Dan Quinn going up against Micah Parsons. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum this time around. And Dan Quinn has a little advice for his former defensive player. We're going to hear from Dan Quinn coming up when we continue here live at the Stout House with our friends from Bud Light. You can come in here and register for 2 tickets to Noche UFC, which is taking place this Saturday night out at the Frost Bank Center. We're going to draw tickets towards the end of the show. So get on out here. It is the Stout House, Brooks City base. That is where we are. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Speaking of golf and making 6-inch putts, I could do that all day long at the Golf Club of Texas because the greens are pristine. They are fantastic. All the work that they put into that golf course have just made it immaculate. It really is. The money they've spent on the greens, the fairways, the golf cart paths, the zero-scape areas that they have, the tee box markers, all of it have upgraded that golf course to really a golf course that looks like a country club. It's not a country club, though. It is open to the public 7 days a week. And again, the course conditions are just second to none. It's a great place to go play because, well, it's a good golf course to play. It's a fun golf course to play, and it's a fair golf course to play, but it will give you a challenge. And then there's the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. It is a fantastic place. You go in there, the food is great. They've got any kind of cocktail that you can think of. They'll whip that up for you, or any kind of beer. They've got lots of selections of cold beer for you to try. So whether you're going out to the Tin Cup or to play or both, which is what you should be, well, you need to head out to Briggs Ranch Road right there off Highway 90, whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies. Your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That is golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of Sports Star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
At Frost, we go above and beyond with our services, like getting to know our customers by name, offering 24/7 real human phone support, and always keeping a supply of treats for our four-legged friends. You know, the little things, like when a customer was out of town before a hurricane and their Frost banker drove all the way to Corpus Christi to tie their boat down. We couldn't make that up if we tried. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, college packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B.
George gets justice. You've heard the national lawyer ads. Same story, different name. But when you've been through something traumatic in San Antonio, you need a local team who fights for real results. That's why so many get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George is from here, listens to people, and fights to help them get their maximum compensation. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
What is your next success story?
At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
The sleepy time music? What is that? Pledge, what are you doing? Oh, it's kind of a slow start. It's going to get better.
It's kind of a build-up, sir.
Crescendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The song had too much foreplay for Ryan Eagle.
Yeah, way too much foreplay. Let's get to it. I don't want labor pains. Just give me the baby.
Yikes.
Hey, we're live at the Stout House. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Out here because, well, our good friends from Bud Light are giving away 2 tickets to Noche UFC coming up Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. You can register to win a pair of free tickets to go to that event. All you have to do is head down here to the Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are. We'll be here till 6 o'clock, and, well, who knows then after. But we're going to give these tickets away before 6 o'clock, sometime during the show, towards the end of the program. So come on by, enjoy a free Bud Light. You can do that while you're registering, courtesy of the lovely Bud Light girls.
And I'm seeing on our YouTube page, and you can comment and go like, subscribe, all that good stuff on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Yes, you have to be present to win to at least get registered. You know, do you have to be there at the end, Edwin? Edwin doesn't know. He's looking at me like,
"What?" You do not. You don't have to be present to win,
because we'll probably get your info and then email you tickets. More likely, that's how it works. So, in order to get your name in the bucket, you have to walk through the doors here at the Stout House. You don't have to be here at 6 o'clock when your name is drawn. But yeah, the only way to get your name in the bucket is to actually physically get your ass down here.
So what are you waiting on?
Yes.
Get down here.
Yes.
And have some fun with us here at the Stout House. Kat's over there. She's waiting to serve you.
Yep.
The lovely Bud Light girl's waiting to serve you.
Yep.
All of the above. So
what's Edwin doing?
Well, I don't know what the hell Edwin's doing. He's greeting you as you walk through the door.
He's not even doing that.
He's got a big smile on his face.
No, he doesn't.
He's got an ugly hat on, but other than that, other than that, his hat is. He's a nice guy,
and it doesn't match his shirt or his shoes.
Try to shove him up
clearly, clearly, Edwin dressed himself today,
or Pledge dressed him. One of the two.
Even Pledge would look at him and go, "Oh, no, dude. Yeah, there's a reason you're single." The Green Bay Packers play host to the Washington Command Skins tonight. Little reunion for old Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons. Old DQ had some advice for Micah.
How do you combat that guy? Is it inevitable that he's going to make those plays in that backfield?
Are you asking what would I do if I was
Sure.
coaching him? Yeah, I'd sit him this week on a short week.
Absolutely. I'm sure he would like for that to happen. Dan Quinn, always a big fan of Micah Parsons, and I think vice versa. I think Micah Parsons is a big fan of Dan Quinn. So it's going to be interesting to see what Dan Quinn and his staff, Cliff Kingsbury, do to try and negate one Micah Parsons.
Well, and you go back to even like last year when Micah was still a part of America's team, when they would play Washington. And that's the thing with Cliff, is the offensive coordinator. Cliff will design plays that are going away from Micah Parsons. And Jaden Daniels has the speed, unlike a Jared Goff, to outrun a Micah Parsons with a head start. You know, one of the funny clips that I saw on social media of that sack was the lion tracking down, I don't know what it was, some slow animal. And that was Jared Goff. I mean, it was, and, Jaden Daniels, unless he is trying to buy time and not going to take off and run, would be able to, with that kind of a head start, outrun a Micah Parsons. And that's one thing about Jaden Daniels that we saw last year. You saw it at LSU. Hell, you even saw it when he was at Arizona State as a young quarterback. It wasn't always a quarterback. First read isn't there, I'm going to take off and run. His eyes stay downfield. He is looking to complete that pass. In a lot of ways, like a Lamar Jackson, like a Josh Allen, they can run. Trust me, they can run, but they're not always looking to run first. They still want to hit that home run pass.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. And I think Jaden Daniels, as a second-year player, has learned that very well. You stay in the pocket as long as you can. Running is a last resort. You see a lot of college quarterbacks making that mistake where it's 1-2, I got nobody, I'm going to run, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's going to be an interesting game, no question about it tonight. And I think a lot closer perhaps than a lot of people think it will be. I think it's going to be one of those down to the wire ball games. So again, I'm just not sold on Green Bay, Minix.
Well, and again, you don't have to be. I'd like them to both lose. But also, in the NFC East, I want to see Washington lose. I don't want to see Green Bay win. But at the same time, what we learned on Sunday night, no matter what the score is, don't go to bed. Because both of these quarterbacks tonight have the ability, like Josh Allen the other night, to erase big leads in a hurry. Both defenses has the ability to create a turnover and help out their offense. The idea of this feels like one of those games that is going to be tight going into the fourth quarter. You're going to want to stay with it. Should be a good football game. And I like the fact that we get a good football game on Thursday night because, quite honestly, sometimes you look at some of the games that are on Thursday in years past and you go, what's the point? Remember, that was the time everybody got a national TV game, so the teams that suck got relegated to Thursday night.
That's exactly right. And I guess it's on Prime tonight, right? So yeah. I think Prime complained and said, hey, Roger, remember the amounts of zeros that were on the check we wrote?
Yep.
We want some good games. And so far they've gotten those, although last week's game wasn't on Prime. It was on NBC. Tonight starts the Prime lineup. So
yeah, get Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, the dog.
And it's going to be a good one. I think it will be a good one. By the way, if you can't watch it, you can listen to that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, thanks to our good friends at Flight by Yingling.
Now, a game on a Sunday that looked like it was going to be a dog of a game anyway, might be even doggier, if you will, because the 49ers going down to New Orleans. And it looks like Brock Purdy is going to miss this game. It looks like Brock Purdy could actually miss a couple of weeks because of the toe, not the shoulder. It's the toe injury that's the biggest problem. Now, they did bring in Mac Jones as the backup. So you've got a guy with QB1 experience, which is, if you're San Francisco, if something happens to Brock Purdy, we've got a guy that can keep things afloat. They're also without George Kittle. A New Orleans team that played pretty well last week, especially defensively.
They did.
This game, ugly. And if you're Kellen Moore, you got to be thrilled because the uglier the matchup, the better for New Orleans.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. And you talk about Purdy, and the docs from TSAOG, Orthopedics and Spine, told us about turf toe, and it's one of those injuries that doesn't sound bad, but it's very painful. And that's exactly what Brock Purdy is going through. 2 to 5 weeks is what they're estimating, although Shanahan came out today and said that as far as we know, he's still day-to-day. Now, that sounds like coach speak to me, but most reports are saying he could miss 2 to 5 weeks. So it's going to be something you need to follow, especially if you've got Brock Purdy on your fantasy team.
Absolutely. Now, or any 49er for that matter in a skill position area, because now it's going to be Mac Jones trying to get him the ball. And now Mac should have no problem. Here, Christian, go run.
Exactly.
Here, Christian, go run. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson will not be punished from the league for shoving a fan in Buffalo the other night. A little surprised there's not even a fine. Honestly,
nothing,
no punishment whatsoever. And again, sometimes I wonder, dude, hey, fan, you're going to do that? Player, you got 5 minutes, man. Have fun.
Well, and I think look, Lamar Jackson just reacted. And I don't blame him for what he did. Look, and Lamar said as much today. In fact, when he apologized to the fan.
I mean, I believe everyone seen what happened. Don't get me wrong. I didn't try to, it just happened. Like, I got pushed. I'm like, what? I thought I was like outside. I wasn't even thinking about me being out there on the field, but my apologies to that whoever that was. I don't know who it was. My apologies to him. Like, just chill next time. Just, you can talk trash and stuff, but keep your hands to yourself, man. That's all I can say.
Lamar, there was also a clip that we saw. It looked like a beer bottle or can flying toward Derek.
That's crazy. Like, stuff like that shouldn't be happening. It's not WWE. We playing football out here. We don't want to. I never seen one. Don't make me look bad, y'all. Flock Nation, don't make me look bad. I never seen any one of our fans do nothing like that to an opposing team. So just keep it football. Talk trash. I know guys are gonna talk trash. I know the opposing team is gonna talk trash. Just keep it that way. But keep your hands and keep your objects to yourself.
Hands and objects to yourself.
He's exactly right, though, Jason. I mean, look, fans can say what they want as long as it's, not insulting and stupid. But, you want to talk a little trash. The players are good with that. But you don't have to touch them. Just keep your hands off. Buying a ticket to a game does not give you the right to touch one of the players.
No, and again, to a degree, I'm good with Lamar not getting any punishment, but I am surprised because you can't have a player putting their hands on a fan either. And in his apology, he forgot where he was in the moment, which is, you want your quarterback to be calm and cool and all that and aware, but you can't have that either. And I think because it was quick and so innocent, Lamar got lucky, I think, with no punishment, no fine, obviously no suspension.
Well, I think I guess you're right. He got lucky, but I think in this case, the NFL did the right thing because they saw what the fan was doing and Lamar reacted. So I think they handled it appropriately. And I love what Lamar said today. I love what he said. Look, just chill.
Yeah.
Talk all the trash you want, but just keep your hands off. And I think that's good advice for anybody going to a football game.
Yeah. Hey, did you see your boy Aaron Rodgers? He could pass up Brett Favre's career touchdown total on Sunday.
All that means is he's old. He's old. That's all that means.
He is old, but again, he threw 4 touchdown passes last week. Not bad for a washed-up quarterback.
It's not bad. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn now and then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he is. He, talk about a guy that's washed up. Look, if Aaron Rodgers has a good season, so be it. And I'll retract some of my trash talk.
No, you won't.
Well, maybe not. But I don't look for Pittsburgh to go anywhere. I don't think they have the squad to do it overall, and I certainly don't think Aaron Rodgers is a guy that can carry that football team. So I'm not looking at or expecting much out of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They have a home game against the Seattle Seahawks. And Seattle's got a good secondary coming off of a tough loss last week against San Francisco in their opener. But Seattle always seems to struggle when they have to go all the way to the East Coast and play in the early time window. And so it will be interesting to see what that Seattle offense is able to do against Pittsburgh's defense. And could it be similar to what we saw last week, where Pittsburgh might not have to score a lot, just like San Francisco didn't, because the defense will end up winning the game because Seattle's offense is still trying to find their footing.
Well, and what I'm looking at, and that's exactly what you just said is what I'm looking for. Sam Darnold, great year last year in Minnesota. Was it the system he was in? Was it the coach that he had? And now that's changed. And so will Sam Darnold revert back to what he was before he went to Minnesota? And that remains to be seen because he didn't have a very good game last week against the San Francisco 49ers. So finding their way, perhaps. So when I watch that game, if I watch that game, I will be watching for Sam Darnold and to see what progress he makes from week 1 to week 2.
No, it's going to be interesting. Again, another great weekend of football on tap. And then, of course, Monday night, we've got the doubleheader, 2 Monday night games. Kind of like, kind of don't, but you got the Texans playing on Monday night against Tampa Bay.
In the early window. So, yeah, that's going to be fun and should be entertaining. We'll see Baker Mayfield come back to Texas. See what he can do in front of the home folks.
Well, I know Monday we'll be live at the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road, leading right into, both of those games. But as soon as we go off, that game will kick off down in Houston.
That's exactly right, which is the way it should be. So we're the pregame show.
Not really, but yes.
Well, we are the pregame show.
But we'll talk about other things.
Well, maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
Well, we will.
All right. You say maybe. Beer bet on Monday while we're at the Roo Pub. Do we talk 80% Cowboys, Giants, and 4% Texans, Bucks?
4%?
Well, because we got the rest of the NFL to talk, and then college football over the weekend, and then whatever shenanigans that we're going to get into.
Yeah, we'll mention the game once or twice. How about that?
So not really a pregame show.
Yeah, not
we're
really,
on before the game.
We're on before the game, and we'll let you know that it's coming up.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how much we'll talk about it. It'd be an interesting game.
Yeah,
though to see it. Certainly not a cupcake by any stretch of the imagination for either team. Texans have a chance to go 0-2.
They do.
I mean, that's definitely something that they got to worry about, no doubt about it. All you have to worry about is getting down to the Stout House, Brook City base. That's where you need to be. Bud Light is here. They're passing out free Bud Lights. You can register to win a pair of tickets to Noche UFC taking place this Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. But you got to get down here and register. Come hang out with us. A great place to hang out. When we come back, you ever been skydiving?
No.
How about your wife?
No.
Neither one of you together?
No.
Well, there's an idea, just in case you're interested. If you and your wife want to skydive.
I saw that headline. I saw the headline.
And my man Shaq loves Jerry Jones as much as I do.
Yeah.
We're talking about it all when we return here from the Stout House, Brook City base, with our friends from Bud Light here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Presented by Just Punts. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Howie Carbone. We've got an enforcer. His name is Michelangelo Caspisi. Okay. Everybody calls him Mickey Darth Vader. You remember Darth Vader from the Space Wars? He's got this toy lightsaber. You ever seen him? You ever been whacked with one of these things? With a lightsaber? Yeah, it
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Make the Break Room on Pat Booker Road in Live Oak your football watching headquarters. Watch all the college and NFL games on the 17 HD TVs. The Break Room shows all UFC and boxing events with no cover. The kitchen is open daily until midnight with karaoke on Tuesday nights and a DJ every Friday with pool, darts, video games, a patio. It's more than your average neighborhood bar. So check out the Break Room at 8084 Pat Booker Road in Live Oak. Follow the Break Room Live Oak on social media for the latest specials and events.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. Let me tell you something. It is so good to be right. In Prize Picks, there's no better way to prove your knowledge than to play Prize Picks. And Dallas Cowboy fans, you know every game counts, so don't miss a moment of the action this season on Prize Picks. Make your picks on your favorite Cowboys every week and ride with the boys all season long. You got all kinds of play, all kinds of ways to go. Right now, Prize Picks is offering $50 in lineups. That's money you can play with. Use it and prove how good you are. Prize Picks. There's only one place to go. All you need to know is more or less. You can pick your players, you can pick your game, but we got the place for you. It's Prize Picks. And remember the code Alamo. Alamo's the one you need. If you put that in there, use the code Alamo for your $50 free play. That's $50 when you use the term Alamo. You know the game. Go play it in the right place. That's Prize Picks. It's so good to be right, and you're always right when you head to Prize Picks. Go get it today. Download the app, use the code Alamo, and you can come by and thank me later.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got NFL football on tonight. Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers welcome Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders to Lambeau Field. You can catch that game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30 tonight with the pregame show. The Kawhi Clippers scandal continues to go deeper. Recent reports connect Clippers minority owner Dennis J. Wong making an almost $2 million investment into aspiration, then paid Kawhi $1.75.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, it's a great Thursday in the great city of San Antonio. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live at Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are at. Our good friends with Bud Light are here, and they're giving away a pair of tickets to Noche UFC taking place this Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and it's a great place to be on a Thursday afternoon.
And it's the only way you can actually get registered to win those tickets. You have to physically come here and put your name in the bucket. You don't have to be here when we have the drawing. So not present to win, but present in order to get your name in the bucket to win the tickets.
Hey, you get to see Edwin's smiling face over there as you walk through the door, and then the Bud Light girls are here. Cat's here tending bar here at the Stout House. That's always a nice to look at. So, I mean, what's not to like about coming to the Stout House here at Brook City Base?
I would say for you, especially we see it a lot on the YouTube. I don't know how, other people that kind of feel the same, but just with those that are always in the YouTube chat, and you could be in there, there's always some references to the cat from the morning show. I would have to say that today's afternoon show cat is far superior.
Far superior to
superior.
Yeah, it's not a stuffed animal. Okay.
No, they've got KBB, we got CBB.
Yeah,
and we win. Yes.
Going away.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close.
Yes.
So come on down here and join us at the Stout House here at Brook City Base and have some fun with us. And I bet you, I'm just thinking, there's a bucket over there on the table with the Bud Light girls full of cold Bud Light.
Yeah. They'll probably just hand you one.
They're just going to hand you one when you walk through the door.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
And speaking of basketballs, Shaquille O'Neal was a basketball player, but he loves himself some football, and he loves himself some Jerry Jones.
Hey, don't you ever disrespect my Jerry Jones. Mike, I will come to this TV and slap that gel out your hair. Don't you ever disrespect my damn Jerry Jones. Speaking of Jerry Jones, that Cowboys documentary was unbelievable. Did you watch it?
Yep, great. Love the old footage.
It was great. Yeah, it was good. But listen, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I wish him well. Hey, CD, come on, CD Lamb. Come on, my boy. CD, I love you, my boy. Come on. Need you to step up.
Need to step up and catch some footballs, CD.
Yes.
Love Shaquille O'Neal. Always have. Now I like him even better because we obviously share a love for one Jerry Jones.
Didn't he make a bet, I forget, about doing something? He was so sure the Cowboys were going to open the season with a win over the Eagles. Wasn't that Jack? That
made a bet with Barkley, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he lost that, obviously.
Yeah. No, you got to be careful with certain headlines. But
I just want to know how this is possible.
Well, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. And, there's a couple of those. I don't even know what you call them at this point, but they compete. And, at one point they were trying to see who could do 1,000 dudes in a day. Well, now one of them, that Lily chick, she's kind of upped the game. Her next quest is while skydiving, orally do things to a dude, right?
What's she trying to be politically correct over there?
Well, huh? I mean, how do you say that on the air, right? Well, you can't. So, I mean, that's what it is. But my first thought is, one, to jump out of a perfectly good airplane has never been on my bucket list. When I was in the Navy, I used to, in a harness, hang out of a CH-46 helicopter and take photos and video. I was a journalist in the Navy. And that was bad enough. The idea of jumping out of an airplane and parachuting has never been on my bucket list. That's nothing that I want to do. Now, there's video of her jumping out and she's topless. All right, that's interesting, and wind will do interesting things to boobs. But how do you get there to do that? And again, even with a parachute, it doesn't last long enough, right? Not at all.
Well, it depends on how good she is, I guess, right? I mean, you got a limited amount of time. Get going, girl.
I mean, lots of things. And then, of course,
you would have to design that harness where she's upside down and the dude is right side up, and it's got to be perfectly placed.
Oh, you got to give him that hook and spit on that
way. And then you think about.
I don't think you give a hawk to a skydiving.
Well,
it would miss the mark.
I mean, there's all exactly. And what wind would do to that, I just don't know that this is possible.
Wow, I don't know, but the girl's got a goal. All right, she's ambitious,
and she will have no problem finding willing participants.
And she screwed 1,000 dudes in one day. I mean, if she can do that, I think skydiving BJs. There should be no issue with that.
You can say that.
You can't say
no
BJ.
But, we're not talking about the restaurant that's down the street here from Stout House.
I don't know how else you describe that.
Well, I think.
Let me draw you a picture, ladies and gentlemen.
I think they get the idea. I think they get the idea.
You know what's funny
it's quite the stunt.
When you read this article, there are pictures of Lily.
Yeah.
It looks very attractive young lady, although I would, you'd have to have a 2x4 strapped to your behind. But other than that, it'd be tough. But I mean, so she's taking a picture with her parents, who I guess are all on board with this.
Well, she's made a whole lot of money.
Well, I guess,
they don't have to pay your rent.
Well, no, they don't.
Right?
You know what? I think I'd rather pay the daughter's rent than. Look, she's ambitious, and so I'll give her credit for that. And there's pictures of her walking down the line of dudes when she did it, handing each one a condom, and the girl is organized.
There's the OnlyFans model Lily Phillips' parents beg her to stop her stunts. Quote, "Have we done anything wrong?" Some questions you don't really have to ask. As a girl dad, I'm just glad that's not my daughter.
Well, I'm pretty happy about it as well.
Yeah.
But there's a picture though with her with her parents, and there's it's like a red Porsche in the background. So I wonder if she bought that for her folks, and they probably said, "Well, okay, darling, you can do another 1,000.
Yeah.
Go ahead."
Oh, it's a great idea, Jim.
What is your next stunt?
Yeah. Well, Dad, let me tell you.
Does Dad watch her work?
Oh man!
I would. No.
That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Well, yes, all of it is kind of creepy.
Brings a new term to the word, daddy.
Yeah.
Well, that's daddy.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Hey, have we mentioned that Stephon Jones is going to be joining us here on the Blitz at about 4:30
Spicy
today?
and naked.
Yeah, well, that certainly fits. I'm still trying to figure out how there's got to be some engineer out there or some parachute guy that knows how to adjust that.
All right. So again, Justin on our YouTube said he would actually pay $500 for that experience. My guess is it would cost more, but does that count as the Mile High Club? Right.
Well, I would.
I mean, although you might start at a mile, but you're not going to end at a mile.
Well, no, but so you got to start and finish a mile high.
Well, I don't know what the official rules are to actually say that you can check that one off the bucket list.
Well, and here's the question: you got to wait till the parachute opens. I mean, a lot of these people just kind of free fall for a while. Dude, there's all kinds. There's somebody out there thinking about, I can do this.
Whole nother meaning to ripcord.
I can do this.
We need to eject out of this one too.
Yeah. We sure can. We sure can. At least as long as it takes to get down to the ground.
I
guess I could keep going if she wasn't done.
Well,
hit the ground and just roll around in the hay.
But now, but again, though, I mean, at that point, if the stunt is while in the air, not to finish on the ground. Do you see what I mean?
Well, that brings up a flaw in my design for the parachute too, because
you got a lot of flaws in your design, sir.
If her head is pointed down, when you land, she might bump her head.
Might?
I would say.
Again, there are a lot of things here that you've got to figure out here.
She needs to finish before the ripcord is pulled, or.
So in other words, you really have to get started on the plane and then just kind of maneuver and fall out.
Well, I'm thinking free fall.
Yeah,
there's a start there.
But then again, as a guy, do you need anything down there when that cord gets pulled and
yeah, I just think Lily.
I mean, you pull that and all of a sudden, you're falling and then you're not, and so. Unless you're on the same parachute, there's a jerking motion.
There sure is. Yes, there is.
I'm just saying, you don't want teeth anywhere near that, right? Just saying. All of a sudden, we got a John Bobbitt situation in midair.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's another flaw in this whole plan.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Lily might need to rethink this.
Yeah, Lily, darling,
people like Justin that are volunteering to do this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna suggest
could be the last.
That makes Lorena Bobbitt look like an amateur, doesn't it? I mean, my goodness.
I mean, just how about them Cowboys?
Well, how about Kawhi Leonard? You want to talk about him?
Yeah, all right.
Let's talk about him, and because some more evidence, it looks like, coming out that this actually may be true, and the Clippers could be in very, very deep doo-doo when it comes to this whole controversy about him. And the Clippers trying to evade the salary cap. We're talking about it when we continue here from the Stout House. Brook City Base, that's where we are. Come see us. You can register for a pair of tickets to Noche UFC, courtesy of our friends from Bud Light. They are here. The Bud Light girls are, and, well, you need to be here as well. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Argo Group delivers specialty insurance tailored to your business, backed by expert claims handling and global experience. As a proud local employer, Argo gave back to more than 20 San Antonio nonprofits last year. Visit argogroup.com. Argo, helping businesses stay in business. Argo Group offers a full line of specialty insurance products and services designed to meet the unique coverage and claims handling needs of businesses. As a local employer, Argo contributes to the San Antonio community too, donating to more than 20 area nonprofits last year. Visit argogroup.com to learn how tailored strategies and global expertise can support your business. That's argogroup.com. Argo, we help businesses stay in business.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery.
I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-924-7415. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and we're live out at the Stout House. Brook City-based location, that's where we are, and we are registering you to win 2 tickets to Noche UFC taking place inside the Frost Bank Center on Saturday night, thanks to our friends from Bud Light. The Bud Light girls are here handing us an ice-cold Bud Light, and, well, it's just a lot of fun. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
Absolutely. And what's not a lot of fun is this Kawhi Leonard at Clippers story, and certainly not a fun for the NBA, for Adam Silver in those investigating. Now, when this story first broke, I was thinking, all right, I want to think that Steve Ballmer is innocent in this, as he says. But the more you read, the more you wonder. In fact, one of the things that I read the other day, Pablo Torre just continues to put more and more out there. And Ballmer is actually on the NBA's audit committee, which is supposed to uphold the financial transparency of the NBA. And he was obviously at that Board of Governors meetings, and he sat in a room as Adam Silver chose not to mention the investigation, according to Pablo Torre. Owners, apparently, according to the report, uneasy. The silence and tension were obvious. and the quick move to bring in the outside investigator signaled the league views this as serious. Why? Whispered side conversations turned to possible penalties, fines, draft picks, voided contracts. And it's interesting because here's a guy that's on their audit committee for the financial transparency. And the latest one, when you start connecting the dots, is one of the minority owners of the Clippers, a guy that's got 1% of the Clippers. Now, again, 1% of an NBA team is still a ton of money.
It's a lot.
And this is a guy, Dennis J. Wong, who has been a big part of Ballmer's inner circle for a long time. This guy has a ton of money, made a $2 million investment into Aspiration, and a week later, they paid out $1.75 million to Kawhi Leonard. What's interesting here is the timing of everything, according to former Aspiration employees on Torrey's podcast. Now, keep in mind, Ballmer invested $50 million into this company, and this company is going broke. So connecting dots, it doesn't make any sense for this guy Wong to make $2 million investing into this company when it's going broke. It doesn't. That's not a good investment for a guy like him. And $2 million is nothing for an investment into a company like that. It was almost like he gave them a check, and a week later they gave Kawhi a check.
Well, yeah, it's like he said, we need $2 million. Here it is, because we got to pay Kawhi. And then you pay Kawhi and everybody's happy. This stinks, Jason.
It does.
I mean, it really does. And the more that comes out of it about this is it's going to get ugly, in my opinion, as we move forward on this thing, because Kawhi knows about it. Uncle Dennis is involved in this. I think Ballmer's involved. Wong now is involved. This is going to get ugly. And it told me everything. When we heard from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver yesterday, and he talked about that they interviewed Ballmer, and it was at that point they decided they needed to investigate.
Yep.
Kind of pretty much told me everything I needed to know, that there's a lot of smoke and a little bit of fire, and they're going to try and figure out what this is. This does not look good for the LA Clippers or Kawhi Leonard.
Well, and again, you look at this Wong guy was Ballmer's roommate in college. So when you start going, all right, this is deep. So apparently, according to two former finance officials at Aspiration who appeared on the podcast with Pablo Torre, and they had company bank statements that Torre was able to Pablo Torre was able to get. Timing of it. Apparently, Leonard's uncle, Dennis Robertson, was upset that a quarterly payment had been missed. Now, again, this is a company that was going broke, and right now they're in bankruptcy court, which is how all this was found out.
Right.
So Dennis is upset that they missed a payment. This dude makes an investment in the company, which is just a hair over what they had to pay Kawhi Leonard, and then they paid Kawhi Leonard, and Dennis is happy for the time being. Again, I know there's an investigation that's going to go on. The optics of this, court of public opinion, dude, this is shady, and you know, I have a hard time believing now what I believed yesterday and the day before, that Ballmer was unaware.
Yeah, I think he's aware, and Silver should have hired Pablo Torre. I mean, I think Torrey's doing the job of the lawyer's office that they did hire to investigate this thing for them. I mean, my goodness, with all the stuff that he's got, and he claims he's got documents and papers galore, a stack of them that he's been able to obtain from whistleblowers and other people involved. And this thing does not look good. The question is going to be, and I know Adam Silver said he's going to wait for the investigation to play out, as he should. It's the right thing to do. But if this turns out the way it's looking like it's going to turn out, he's got to come in with a hammer. I just think you've got to put a stop to this thing.
Well, and again, even if you're not big into big business and investing in companies, and I certainly am not, but I mean, you know, common sense, you watch Shark Tank. I mean, here is a company that has raised at different points hundreds of millions of dollars. What is a $2 million investment for Wong going to do? And if you're an investor, why, again, going back to Shark Tank, why would you invest in this company at this point and that amount, which basically just pays Kawhi Leonard his bill? That's the only thing that makes sense. This isn't an investment to get an ROI. This is an investment to cover one bill, and that was to Kawhi Leonard.
And you got to wonder why. I mean, was Uncle Dennis threatening to go public with this thing?
You wonder.
Or you have to wonder. I mean, all of a sudden, $2 million shows up, and that's exactly what is needed to make sure Kawhi Leonard is happy. This is interesting, man, and this could get really deep and dark as we go through. And look, the Clippers are just a one party to this. The common denominator in everything is Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis. Mm-hmm. These are the people that in my mind just crooked as hell, and they're trying to squeeze everything they can out of every NBA franchise that they go to.
Well, and again, the Clippers apparently were playing ball, whether Ballmer knew it or not. The penalties are going to be severe. It's just bizarre, and it all comes back to Uncle Dennis. Now, there's a quote in this article in The Athletic, quote, "In all fairness to Uncle Dennis, he's not the only one who's trying to get paid," one of the former Aspiration employees said on the podcast, quote, "There's a huge freeze because there's no money to be spent. So from the finance team's perspective, we feel we're on the other end of collection calls. People are constantly coming in asking for their money." Now, I take that and I read that in context. What other deals do they have? Remember, this was a company that was supposed to be the Jersey Patch sponsor, big sponsor of the Clippers. Ballmer invested in this company that he thought was real. And again, the company itself was, I don't know, want to say real, because Ballmer's saying they scammed us. And, you kind of go back through and then, all right, well, here's a company that it's a startup. It's one of these kind of companies. Do you invest in it? They raised over $300 million. Ballmer is only investing $50 million. And this is a guy that has been indicted. So, I mean, he wasn't on the up and up. So maybe there is some truth that Ballmer was scammed. Hey, sponsor, you're sponsoring us. I'll invest in you guys. Seems like a good company. If I don't know, but then you add in the Uncle Dennis. Did Ballmer only invest in this company to try to circumvent the salary cap is what it comes down to.
Well, it's getting uglier by the day, and more is coming out. And look, I don't think Pablo Torre's going to stop.
No.
He's going to keep going and keep uncovering whatever he can. It's going to be interesting to see how long the law firm that the NBA hired is going to take to conclude this thing. But this doesn't look good for the Clippers. Certainly does not look good for Uncle Dennis and Kawhi. And it's going to get ugly.
And it doesn't take long for people to start changing their mind like me, because, I mean, Wong, Ballmer's roommate, 1% owner in the Clippers. And again, a $2 million investment into a company that's going belly under for a guy that's supposedly a good investor doesn't make sense. Two, you invest the amount of money that a little bit over what you owe Kawhi Leonard to make that payment. That just looks shady. Like, just pay him. Because at that point, what does $2 million buy you in a company that has raised over $300 million but is going broke? No sensible investor would make that. I mean, I am not an investor like that at all by any stretch of the imagination. And even I know, that seems like not a good deal.
It's clearly a payoff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any other way to spin it. It was a payoff to get Kawhi paid, because there, in my mind, was a threat made by somebody. Look, okay, you're not going to pay us. We're going public with this whole thing, or something to that effect was going to happen. So Wong comes in and puts the $2 million in the bank. They pay Kawhi, and everybody walked out happy. So this is ugly. It's going to continue to get ugly, I think, and we'll see where it goes, and we'll keep you posted. That is for sure. While we're talking to you on the radio or the YouTube page or however else you're listening to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, you could be listening live and in person. All you have to do is come down here to the Stout House, Brook City Base. That's where we're at. Register to win Noche UFC tickets for this Saturday night at the Frost Bank Center. Enjoy a cold Bud Light. The Bud Light girls are here. They're taking very good care of everybody that's just walked in. I see a lot of cold Bud Lights on everybody's table over here, so everybody enjoying those very nicely.
Nobody has reached for their wallet yet.
Nobody has. So the Bud Light girls are very generous. I found that out on Friday when we were out at Pocket. So very generous, the folks from Bud Light. So come on out here, Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are. When we come back, more trouble for one Adam Silver. Said something pretty stupid yesterday. We're talking about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but people get arrested every day for all kinds of reasons, whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, an employee. You get arrested, somebody you know gets arrested. Of course, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of sports star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news. All those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico is built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty. And right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
And Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Ends 9/13 while supplies last.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Who was the last guy that you're like, oh my God, I really don't want to let this guy go?
Man, I tell you what, that's a tough question. I'm going to pivot on you like most great minds do.
Well done.
It wasn't the toughest cut, but the coolest one for me was bringing Perion Winfrey in, thinking he was going to get cut, and then telling him that he made the roster.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are. The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with our good friends from Bud Light who are helping to register people. They're also handing out some cold Bud Lights as well. Very friendly girls doing that. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and it's a great place to be. Starting to get crowded in here.
Yeah, and they are registering people for tickets to Saturday night's Noche UFC event happening over at the Frost Bank Center. So if you want to win tickets, get on down here to the Stout House to get your name in the bucket. You don't have to be present to win. We'll do the drawing just before 6 o'clock tonight, but you do have to be present at least to get your name and info onto the slip, and Edwin is guarding that bucket like nobody's business over there.
Well, he takes his job seriously, doesn't he? Look at Edwin over there. He's focused.
He's
focused. Yeah, he's focused.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's not going to let anybody register that he doesn't deem worthy.
Wow. So Edwin will determine if you're worthy enough to get your name in the hat.
And so far, he hasn't turned anybody away. So I guess everybody's been worthy.
Well, that one guy.
Yeah, the one guy.
Yeah, there was that one guy.
Oh, man. Now, Edwin's a nice guy. He'll let you right in there. You sign right up, and you got a chance to win a couple of tickets and go see that UFC fight, which is in the Frost Bank Center. Jason, should be a pretty good evening.
Absolutely. I mean, UFC live fighting. You want to go. Frost Bank Center, home to the San Antonio Spurs. Kind of crazy to think it won't be long before the Spurs are playing basketball. And one of the things that Adam Silver did say yesterday, and again, everybody's caught up on the Clippers investigation with everything that's going on, but Adam Silver said something that we got to talk about, because as progressive as I think Adam Silver is, and on the forefront and big into technology and the way he is trying to grow the game, he said something yesterday that ultimately I think could kill the game.
There's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free.
I mean, this is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that is advertising based that consumers can consume.
So basically, it was a question about how you're growing the league when so many of the games now are on streaming services that require a subscription. And he basically said, screw you if you don't have it, but you can always watch highlights because we're a highlight league. So in other words, you don't even really need to watch our games because they don't matter. Just watch the highlights. Are you kidding me? Did he really just say that?
Yeah, he did say that. And, it's funny, though, that and maybe it's the amount of games, Jason. I'm not sure. And so the price may be a little bit higher. But nobody complains. Well, I take that back. People did when this first came out with Prime and YouTube and all of that with the NFL. But I think people have gotten over that. But the NBA, you're right. I mean, it's every major sport basically is turning into a streaming platform of some form or another. But yeah, that can get pretty pricey.
It obviously can get pretty pricey. And when the Spurs had their app, or not their app, but when the games were only available for like Rob, who was it Dish at the time, and Bally's wasn't on Dish, and now of course it's FanDuel. You could buy their app, but it was $20 a month, and it sucked. It wasn't a good viewing experience. But I think fans will pay to see their game. When I hear that, and I'm curious for you guys, especially some of our younger listeners, although even our older ones. I mean, you hear that from Adam Silver, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I hear that, and I hear middle fingers going up. And then also, we're a highlight league. Did he honestly just say it doesn't really matter if you watch the games? Because you can interpret it that way. But I'm thinking about younger people. If you don't grow up watching the games, how do you fall in love with players? How do you fall in love with teams? How do you fall in love with the sport? It's watching the games, not just the highlights. I can see highlights for a lot of different things. Imagine if you only heard, 30-second hooks of bands, and that's all you knew of them. You didn't really go by the album, and you didn't find some of their deep cuts, the ones that aren't played on radio. But that's where you really fall in love with your bands. How do you fall in love with the sport and make it matter to you if all you're ever doing is watching highlights?
Well, that was obviously a mistake by Adam Silver, and he didn't think that out. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he didn't think that out. And what he had to say literally is just telling you, well, don't watch the games. We don't care whether you watch or not. There's plenty of just go to TikTok or Instagram or whatever. You can see the highlights. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But I wonder, Jason, and I mean this in all sincerity, for the NBA, look, the money's there. For the NFL, the money's there on these streaming services. But is the average fan going to get locked out of some of this stuff? And I think it's a conversation that needs to be had because, look, if you're talking about Apple TV, YouTube TV, Netflix, what else is on Prime, all of those things. I mean, you talk about adding all of that up. It's not cheap.
It's not, but each team does have their own app. If you have that. They are
in NBA. They do.
All right, they are pricing themselves out. And I saw a pledge right on our YouTube channel, the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. NBA is not like the NFL. The addiction to the NFL is real, and that is true. When you look at NBA, depending on, because now they're on multiple different streaming services, and maybe you don't want to buy every one of those streaming services, but the majority of the games you're going to be able to access, whether it's your team or just the game of the week. But with Adam Silver saying we're a highlight league, games don't matter. For a 10 or 12-year-old right now, in 30 or 40 years, are they going to give a damn about the NBA? He's essentially saying it doesn't matter. And if you don't have money, you don't matter. I can't believe that the commissioner of the NBA literally said, we're a highlight league, and you can always find the highlights for free. To me, that's just crazy. You think about boxing. Boxing went through an era where everything was on pay-per-view, and people thought, oh, is boxing dying? UFC, they've got pay-per-view events, but they've got enough on free TV, and they have grown tremendously. But those are events that happen, right?
There's only one.
Yeah, the NBA.
That's 82 games.
It has 82 games a year. The Astros are losing right now to Toronto 4-0. And that race in the AL West is tightening up. I think the Astros are down to a 1-game lead over the Mariners, who are red hot right now.
Wow.
Baseball, with the amount of games they play, you can miss watching games for a week and still be able to keep up with your team. But when you're at home and there's nothing else on, or you want to watch a game now that the race is heating up, maybe you're getting more interested, it's there. To me, baseball is much more of the highlight, quote-unquote, league than the NBA, because, they have so many. You can keep up with scores and know what's going on. With the NBA, to a degree, it's that. But I just can't believe the commissioner would say, yeah, you don't have to watch our games, because that younger fan at 10 or 12, if they're not used to going to games or watching games, when they become adults, they're still not, they haven't developed those habits of watching every game is important.
Well, look, and it is. And you and I have been watching basketball games for a long time. It's the beauty of it. It's a story, right? Every game is a story. Starts with that first chapter and then moves on, and you get to the conclusion. And it really is. It's a beautiful thing to watch most of the time. An NBA basketball game. I enjoy it a lot. I just think that at some point in time, and this will never happen, so this is my fantasy, all right, for Major League Baseball and for the NBA, at some point in time, you're going to have to make it exciting. And I mean that by you're going to have to shorten the season. Make every game count. Because right now in the NBA, dude, the season doesn't start until January.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. And so shortening – one of my favorite seasons, and I mean this sincerely, was the 1999 championship for the Spurs. It was a lockout season. They didn't start. I think they had 50 games that year. 50. And to me, it was exciting because every game mattered. You could not afford a 5-game losing streak and stay in the hunt. And it was fun. It was exciting. And now I think that's a problem. It's never going to happen. I know that. And again, this is my fantasy. But if you could shorten the NBA season and make those games count, like this ridiculous tournament that they have mid-season, to me, that's just a gimmicky bunch of
it is
BS.
Well, and again, they're trying to do some things like soccer does, and for some that might matter, and maybe that's important to younger people. And it gives, I don't know, it does nothing to move the needle for me. Maybe in 20 years it will, but I doubt it for me personally. But for some people, it might be a big deal. But in reality, you look at with an 82-game schedule, and you're right, they're not going to shorten the season by 20 games, which is what they probably should do.
Should absolutely do that.
Because the TV contracts and season tickets and sponsorship deals are all based off of 41 home games right now, and they're not going to give back any money, right? But to your point, load management is a deal because there's too many games.
Yep.
And they can't, although I don't know why they couldn't, extend the season out into July, which to me would make the most sense. What happens? You get the NBA finals in June and then July. If they were to, and I don't get, I mean, I know they've got the WNBA and that's what the league is going to tell you. But most sports fans, we want something, a shorter bridge to get us to football season. So if the NBA finals were played into July, I think as a sports fan, we would stay engaged a lot longer, right? And they could spread games out, get rid of load management. There might be fewer games per team per week, but extend that season out. Oh, they won't get enough time off. I don't give a damn. Look how much money they're making. The rest of us have to work all year long. We get 2 or 3 weeks of PTO, and that's it.
look, I just there's some things that can be done and things that need to be done. But look, I think the NBA, when you're talking about a scandal like what's happening with the Clippers and Kawhi, and then Adam Silver with his foot in his mouth yesterday, I mean it's not good for business. It's just not. There are a lot of diehard NBA fans out there. There are. And they're going to watch regardless. But what you're trying to do, what Major League Baseball is trying to do with the pitch count, the clock, and all of that is to get the younger viewers in. That's why when you're talking about the NFL, why it is so much different is because it's one deal. Tonight you got one game on.
Yep.
Sunday, you're going to pick your favorite team you're going to watch, whether it's the Cowboys or the Texans or name one. Doesn't matter. But you're going to watch that thing because it's an event. It's one time. And that's where the NBA, Major League Baseball, and even hockey to an extent have an issue where it's games every day or every other day or 5 out of 7. And it makes it more difficult to follow, and the urgency isn't there until you get, quite frankly, in February or March.
Well, and again, I back to what the commissioner, we're a highlight sport. You can always get the highlights for free. You're telling me you don't have to watch the games. Do you think the people that sponsor their games and spend all that money were thrilled with that comment?
Not at all. Not at all.
Those that are gambling on the games, you need more than highlights.
Absolutely.
And again, if you're a younger fan, does his comments affect me as a 50-year-old guy? No. But a 15-year-old, I can't watch it. I'll just see the highlights on social media, and that's how I grow up. They're never going to be a passionate fan of the NBA, which ultimately could kill the sport.
It's going to be interesting to see if Silver comes out to try and backtrack a little bit on that, because he's catching the heat. He's hearing these comments and these criticisms that he's getting from all over the country, for that matter. And he's got to know, and somebody has to tell him, that's a lot smarter than you and I, that, hey, this was not a good thing to say. How can we fix it? And I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. But the problem is he's got more things on his plate that he's going to have to deal with. You could have something on your plate. How about 2 tickets to Noche UFC? You could have those this Saturday. It takes place inside the Frost Bank Center, courtesy of our good friends from Bud Light. They're here. The Bud Light girls are here. They're passing out cold Bud Light. A lot of folks in here having a good time right now in the middle of the afternoon. Get your weekend started a little bit early here with us. I tell you what, Jason, though, we've got some tickets to give away, and I think we should do that.
Yeah, what do you
think? Well, we've got to the San Antonio Beer Fest, October 18th at Civic Park at Hemisphere. We got a pair of tickets that we should give away, and we should do that right now.
Caller number 12, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 12, you're going to get a pair of tickets to SA Beer Fest, October 18th.
It's a beer fest right here, Stout House, Brook City base. Come see us. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We do have football tonight, then, of course, all weekend long. And the best place to make your picks and win money all season long is at Underdog. Football is back, and you can play here in Texas. I love playing the Pick'em game. Won some money last weekend. Plan on winning some money this weekend. Plan on winning some money tonight with the Green Bay Washington game. And to make your Pick'em entry, it's easy. You just pick higher or lower on predicted stats. Touchdowns, interceptions, receiving yards. Get all your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play for as little as $1. So looking at tonight's game, Josh Jacobs, half a touchdown. Does he score? Does he not? Higher or lower, you can make that part of your pick-em entry. You look at the quarterbacks, passing yards. Jaden Daniels is at 228.5. Jordan Love at 234.5. Would you go higher or lower? Build your pick-em entry, watch the game, see your pick-em entry turn green, and cash is ending up in your account. It's that easy. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with promo code STAR, and you'll score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Touchdown Vegas! What a wild finish!
your home for the NFL.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy, so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Cowboys may not have cornerback DaRon Bland for a couple of ball games. He was seen in a boot at the Star. He suffered an injury in Monday's practice, we're told. Remember, he missed 10 games last year with a foot fracture. Todd Archer of ESPN reporting that the injury could cost him a couple of games. San Francisco 49ers are going to be without quarterback Brock Purdy, it seems, for 2 to 5 weeks. He deals with a turf toe injury. Mac Jones gets the start for the Niners.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylow.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, I hope it's a great Thursday for everybody that's out there listening. Thanks for taking some time to stop by and chat with us. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live today at the Stout House, Brook City base, and we're out here with our friends from Bud Light. We're registering folks for the Noche UFC taking place in the Frost Bank Center on Saturday night. You got to come out here. We're going to draw at the end of the show, and then the folks from Bud Light will get you and make sure your tickets are there and ready. I'm Joe. He's Jason, and we're having a great time out here.
Yeah, we certainly are, and lots to get into. And so Stephen Jones will join us in about 30 minutes from right now, and we'll get the latest on DaRon Bland. Cowboys injury report from practice today literally just showed up in the email. Bland DNP. Game status still unknown, but sounding like it could be a couple of weeks. Wanye Thomas also did not practice today, non-injury related personal. Malik Hooker limited in practice. And look, I know the Cowboys have Russell Wilson this week. And last week, that secondary did a hell of a job against Jalen Hurts. But keep in mind, I know they brought in Jadeveon Clowney yesterday. To my knowledge, Stephon Gilmore still available and still wanting to play football. Diggs only played 27 snaps against the Eagles.
Yeah,
right. And impressed that he was able to get healthy enough to play in the opener, because we wondered if he would start the season on the PUP list, right? But last week played well, although 27 snaps for Diggs. DaRon played well, hurt in practice. Now you're not going to have DaRon, and I imagine you're still going to have Diggs on some sort of a snap count. Their depth in the secondary is going to be tested. Look, I get bringing in a Jadeveon Clowney. We talked about it yesterday. We've talked about why wouldn't you bring in a Stephon Gilmore when your help it seems to be more needed in the secondary, especially if you're going to be without Bland for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that is an interesting question. But I tell you what, I don't know what they did last week. A.J. Brown had one catch.
Yeah.
And so they did a heck of a job with what they had. We'll talk to Stephen Jones about that, because I am curious as to what they're looking at. And I can hear him now. Well, it's 24/7 job. I get it. I understand. But some things are a little more important than others. And at this point in time, it seems like that secondary is more important than a pass rusher or defensive lineman. Doesn't look like they're going to sign Jadeveon Clowney anyway. That was kind of the report yesterday. Who knows? It could happen at some point in time, but it hasn't happened yet. But that secondary certainly is thin.
We'll ask Stephen Jones. Now, if there's something you want us to ask Stephen Jones that's a legit question, drop it in the YouTube comments, and we may or may not ask it of Stephen Jones. There are some knuckleheads out there, and I expect some of you to write those comments there. We probably won't ask him that. But go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and you can watch there. Josh Amena says Russell Wilson's going to throw for 350 this week against the depleted secondary.
Yeah.
There's a guy that worries more about the Cowboys than his own team. And look, if you're a Giants fan, and I'm guessing we probably have 3 of you listening, you're probably hoping to see something out of Russell Wilson, because that's one of the interesting things in this week-to-week league, and they're showing highlights from that game on one of the TVs here at the Stout House. And Russell Wilson wasn't good. He wasn't good at all last week. Can Russell Wilson play better? Last year in Pittsburgh, there were times he looked all right, but most of the time he did not.
You know, I was really thinking that the Giants made a good move, and I'm not sure they thought they were going to get Jackson Dart, and I think he kind of fell in their lap, and who knew how he was going to play, and he ended up playing very well in the preseason. But they also have Jameis Winston, and if Russ struggles at all on Sunday, and obviously Dart's been the backup and Jameis has been the emergency quarterback, so you'd have to switch that up. But why wouldn't you put one of those guys in? Now, look, Brian Daboll is fighting for his job.
Yep.
If they don't win this year, I can't imagine that he's around next. So it could be a whole new coaching staff for the New York Giants. But look, they got to do so. It's just week 2. And I don't know how patient Giant fans are going to be if this team again goes 5-12 or 4-13 or whatever the case may be. I mean, Giant fans are pretty prideful.
Well, they are,
just like everybody.
Although, and we've seen it with on some of the national shows. Greeny on Get Up has used this line a couple of times with their schedule. The Giants are probably going to be a better team this year, but their win-loss record might not reflect that because of their schedule. Defensively, they are solid. Offensively, they have some weapons. They've got some building spots in place. The question is quarterback. They've got the guy in the building, but is he ready? You know, you look at a J.J. McCarthy, who's essentially a rookie. He had a redshirt year because of injury. And, you know, the first half of the game the other night, you were thinking, oh, boy. But once he got it together, look what he was able to do, the consistency there. And that's where you go, okay, is Jackson Dart truly ready to go? You know, in Minnesota, they decided that JJ would be the guy, which is why they let Sam Darnold walk out of the building after the incredible year that he had, although late, things fell apart for Sam Darnold. But they made that decision. You just wonder for Daboll, who does seem to be coaching for his job, but so is Joe Shane GMing for his job.
Yeah.
I do wonder, though, is this entirely up to Daboll, or is this more of a GM call on or ownership call on when they think Jackson Dart is actually ready to play in the NFL?
Look, in the best case scenario, Jackson Dart should sit and watch for a year. I think that's good for every rookie quarterback. Obviously, not all of them get that luxury, but I think it's a good thing for them. So if you're going to do that, why don't you make him the emergency quarterback and make Winston the second stringer and give Winston a chance. Look, the guy makes some dumb mistakes. He does, but he's a baller. I mean, this guy's a competitor. And I just get the feeling that Russell Wilson at this point in his career he's got a ton of money in the bank. And I'm not sure that fire is still there for Russell Wilson.
I disagree with that because of the money in the bank and the celebrity lifestyle that he can certainly live with his wife. The fact that he wears football pants to practice when everybody else is in shorts. The guy loves playing football. He loves playing quarterback. And I think the other part that none of us really give any credence to while we sit there and suggest what the Giants should be doing. I'll go with what Schottenheimer says about guys like Mozzie Smith and Jaden Blue. They got to earn it. And maybe in practice, Jameis Winston hasn't earned being QB2. He's earned you're the emergency third quarterback. You know, maybe Jackson Dart yet hasn't earned being QB1. Russell Wilson is earning it at practice. And once you get into the games, you still have to be able to do it. But, we're not at practice with Jameis Winston. I was surprised that he was the emergency third quarterback and not Jackson Dart, because you're one play from getting in. So, to me, if you're one play from getting in, Jackson Dart, then you should be the guy. A very different scenario than, say, in Dallas with QB2 being Joe Milton, because if he gets in, the Cowboys know they're screwed anyway.
Yeah, they're done.
If that goes out, they're screwed.
Well, absolutely. The Giants are screwed anyway. Look, when's the last time Russell Wilson played a good game? Can you remember that? I can't. I don't give a damn what he does in practice. The guy doesn't do anything in the game. Everybody, he didn't have an interception against Washington. So what?
Well, they weren't catchable.
Well, exactly. I mean, look, I hate to say anybody is washed or done, and I like Russell Wilson. I really do. When he was with Seattle, great player. But I just don't think. I think his time is up. And sometimes you got to realize you stay too long at the party, it doesn't end well. And I think that's what's happening with Russell Wilson. I really do. Maybe he plays better and he comes out and he proves me wrong this week and moving forward. But he's just not playing well. And I can't remember the last time he has played well. So I just think he's done. And the Giants need to either let Dart go in and make the mistakes. If you're going to lose anyway, what the hell's the difference?
I certainly hope that he doesn't start playing well this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. But a group that did play well in Week 1 that isn't getting enough recognition, we'll recognize that group from the Cowboys coming up. It was a good offensive line performance.
Yeah, it's
Far
not bad.
better than what most people thought.
Kind of surprised me when I saw that, to be quite honest with you, but we will talk about it. You can listen. Yeah, these guys right here have front row seats. I bet they paid $1,000 a piece to get those seats. Yeah. There's another one right there that is waiting for you out there. Come to the Stout House here at Brook City Base and register for those tickets. Noche UFC Saturday night, thanks to our good friends at Bud Light. We'll continue here. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about a new sponsor, a sponsor that I'm very proud of, to be totally honest with you, Windows and Door Renovations. I'm proud of these guys because, look, they carry all the major names, all right, when it comes to windows and doors, but they do it and they sell them and they install them for much less. It's incredible. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and the quality is fantastic. So if you're thinking about replacing doors or windows, whether it's one, two, or all of them, best price and quality, it is Window and Door Renovations. You got to call and compare. Look, if you've gotten a price from somebody else, you owe it to yourself before you sign anything. Call Windows and Door Renovations, 210-284-7888. They offer a wide variety of designs, styles, materials. You can save more with window technology. That's going to help your home maintain the temperature, meaning you're not going to waste money on the air conditioner seeping out of a window that just doesn't fit right or is worn out. They do sell Andersen windows. That's what I'm talking about. They sell the best products there are, but they do it for less. All of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the best price. That is Windows and Door Renovations. Proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting the military community here in San Antonio. And if you want more information, you can look for them on Facebook as Windows and Door Renovations. Give them a call. Why don't you do it now? 210-284-7888.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The Cowboys take on the New York Giants at home. Pregame at 11.
I like this kind of party.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
You like that? How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery.
I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a football Friday on the Morning Huddle. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys. Can they get to 1-1?
We'll figure it out with Coach Schottenheimer. Yeah, he'll join us early. You need to be here first. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And the party has started here because we're at the Stout House, Brook City base. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. Stephen Jones is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk to him about a variety of things going on with the Dallas Cowboys. One of them perhaps might be how well that offensive line is playing.
And, give credit where credit is due. A lot of questions going into the opener about that offensive line. Granted, Jalen Carter got himself kicked out of the game before snap number 1. That said, according to 33rd team, where they rank pressures and sack rates and all that kind of stuff, the Dallas Cowboys ranked number 5 in pass protection rankings. That's pretty impressive. They were also one of just 3 teams that did not allow a sack in week 1.
Well, that's pretty good, especially with that front of Philadelphia, albeit without Carter, but still impressive. Good for them. A lot of young guys, a lot of first-round draft picks. I was really surprised when I saw this list that they were number 5 and top. Buffalo ranks number 1, and what I found interesting when you go all the way down was the LA Chargers were second to last, and they actually won their football game against Kansas City.
Well, except for it's the wrong LA team. See, the one with the lightning bolt would be the Chargers. They're 16.
Oh, there they are. The LA Rams.
The Rams at 31.
Well, they actually won their game also.
Against the Texans, who were ranked 30th. Dead last were Reinagel's Tennessee Titans.
Well, okay.
And what surprises me is Cincinnati was at number 29. And
well, it doesn't surprise me. Did you see Joe Burrow on his butt all day?
I thought they would have been dead last. When you look at it, the top 5 are interesting. Buffalo at 1, Jacksonville at 2, Green Bay at 3, Denver at 4, Dallas at 5. Jacksonville, Green Bay, and Dallas, the only teams that did not allow a sack in week 1.
That is impressive. And obviously, if you're a Cowboy fan, that's good news for you. Stephen Jones has got to be thrilled by that. And we'll ask him about that, obviously, when he comes up and joins us here at the bottom of the hour. But that is impressive to be in that top 5.
And I know Jalen Carter wasn't in the game, but Philadelphia is loaded. And that is a great defensive front. They're going to face another great defensive front this week against the New York Giants. But Jalen Carter or not, That's an impressive showing. And you look at the new offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams, who, he's an offensive line guru. That's what he was before becoming the non-play calling OC. In one game, are we seeing that kind of an impact? Now, it's one game. Can he do that over time? Can that group do that over time?
Yeah, I mean, it is one game, and it's one game for all of these teams, but still, it's impressive. Top 5 after one, even though you lost the game you should have won, and you should have. CeeDee Lamb makes a couple of catches, and the Cowboys walk away with a W and end up stealing that game in Philadelphia. So the offensive line played well enough. Everybody played well enough to win that game, except for a Miles Sanders fumble and 4 drops by CeeDee Lamb.
Well, and again, I mean, Dak Prescott is going to tell you CD is going to be fine.
I don't care.
But that one game, when you're the best player, you can't come up short. The Cowboys can't afford for CeeDee Lamb to have an off game.
They missed the playoffs by one game. You're going to look back at that one. Think about it.
NFC East game there. But back to the offensive line, that's in pass protection. They ran the ball extremely well, too.
Yeah.
And so a lot of concerns coming into the season about the Cowboys' offensive line. And while the Cowboys didn't win the game as a group, that group performed at a high level, and the report card shows it.
They did. And, again, they're going to have to do it again because you could argue that the Giants' defensive line might be better than the Philadelphia Eagles' defensive line. Not by much, but certainly they're pretty damn good. And they've got some players there that are going to rush the quarterback and that are going to try and stuff that line. So Cowboys have their work cut out for them. There is no question about that. Stephen Jones will tell us about all of that work. He's going to join us next when we continue from the Stout House, Brook City base. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC is the only company you need to call. 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. So call them 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of sports star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
It's football season, and nothing beats fresh coffee, crisp air, and that locker room energy. Hey, it's Rob reminding you that Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit is just a phone call away. From Selma to San Antonio, it's luxury pet care for your four-legged MVP. With over 17,000 square feet of pet paradise, more than an acre of play outside, plus training and spa treatments, this is stadium fun for your furry family members. Call 210-750-1298. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit, where every pet's a champion.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news. All those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico is built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis closest drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Connecticut, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I hate the new rock and roll. Yeah? And especially Alice in Chains. Last time I saw Alice in Chains, it cost me $100 for the first half hour. And then I only got 20 minutes. The Alice in Chains ripped me off.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
We're going to leave that thing.
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix.
And joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, Stephon Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. Home opener this week against the New York Giants. But, Stephon, we got to talk about an injury to DaRon Bland. How serious of an injury are we looking at? And as a guy like Gilmore, somebody that could come get a look-see.
Well, I think right now, we're hoping it's on the shorter end of, of the 2 to 3 weeks. The great news is we're getting Diggs back, and he's going to, be able to get a lot of this game. So that part of it's good, and Kyrie's playing good, and hopefully, we've got some other young guys on the roster who are going to get opportunities. So right now we feel like we're in pretty good shape, especially since we don't expect this Bland injury to be extensive or take a long time.
Stephon, you guys had Jadeveon Clowney in yesterday, gave him a look-see. Is that over? Is that gone? Or is there still a chance he could be a Dallas Cowboy?
No, they're still we're still looking at him and seeing how this thing's going to work out. But certainly he's a guy that we're looking at who could give us some help on the outside.
Stephon, for us normal fans, when you guys bring in a player for look, and I know you're always looking to improve the roster, he comes in and leaves without a contract, so people think, it didn't work for whatever reason. When you guys bring in a player, talk about what the process and the idea is in doing that, whether you sign him today or next week or in 3 weeks.
Well, the biggest thing on someone like Jadeveon is just to get to know him and kind of see what his plan is and what his thoughts are. And obviously, he's a guy who hadn't been in a camp, and but there's veterans, that's kind of their plan. And we've had those type who've really worked out for us in a positive way. But just to spend time, let him get to know us, our teammates, because a lot of guys like that are certainly wanting to find the right, not only, the money's got to be right, but also the right situation. And it was a great opportunity for him to get to see what our organization's all about, to meet Coach Schottenheimer and his staff, to meet Jerry and I and Will, to get to know the facility. I think he was certainly impressed with that. And but that's really what goes into the visit. Not as much about the workout with someone like that. He's a guy who keeps himself in shape and, played at a high level for, 10 plus years in the NFL.
Stephen, going back, I know there's no moral victories, but I think the Cowboys performed very well in Philadelphia pretty much all the way around. There were some mistakes, I think, that it might have put you guys back a little bit. But overall, what were your thoughts on what happened in Philadelphia?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, that, like you said, there's no moral victories, and you are what Bill Parcells used to say, you are what you are. Unfortunately, we're 0-1. I did like the play style and the way we played. I think Coach Schottenheimer really had this team prepared to play. We put ourselves in a position in the fourth quarter, which is what you want, to win the football game. And unfortunately, we didn't make the plays there the fourth quarter when defense got us the ball back. And, I think really did well in the second half in terms of making the adjustments they needed to do to slow the Eagles down. And like I said, we gave our offense a couple of chances there to make big drives to win. And unfortunately, we just didn't make the plays. But I do feel like they're those are the situations that I think we're only going to get better. And I think we got a chance to, really be a good football team this year. We saw a lot of good things in terms of physicality. The team played with emotion. It was important to them. And like you said, I think, there's a lot of good things to take from that. But we do got to take the next step. It'll start Sunday. We got to win the game.
Absolutely. Giants on Sunday noon at kickoff there at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A lot of fans a little surprised to see Jaden Blue inactive last week along with Mozzie Smith. Obviously, Schottenheimer has talked about that some this week. Do you expect Jaden Blue to make his NFL debut Sunday against the Giants?
Well, we're looking at his full body of work this week and see how he's coming along. Obviously he missed some time in training camp, and that's tough on rookies when you miss some extended time, which he did. But I think both those guys are going to be players that play for us this year and are going to make a difference when it's all said and done. They both just got to keep working, and it takes the full group to win these games and feel good about what the future holds for both those guys.
Stephen, always appreciate you jumping on with us. Good luck to the Cowboys Sunday in their home opener.
Thanks a lot, guys. Always enjoy being on with you, and see you next week.
Absolutely. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Doesn't sound like Jaden Blue is going to be active on Sunday.
It doesn't. For whatever reason, and I don't know if we'll ever know the reason why. As Steven says, it's a rookie and he missed some time, and that hurts. It remains to be seen. But I think he is a guy, and I think Steven mentioned it. He is a guy that at some point in time this season will be able to help this football team. And as far as Mozzie Smith, I'm not sure.
Well, and again, Mozzie Smith, as long as he's there, if there's injuries, if there's numbers, with Jaden Blue, though, being a rookie, missed some time, and trying to take what Schottenheimer says at his word, and then you try to read into what Schottenheimer might mean. You got to earn your playing time. You wonder if it's a trust factor. They're playing the Giants. We're all talking about, why is it Jackson Dart? Is he ready? And I know quarterback is a very different position, but maybe there's a trust issue in either in practice or in the meeting rooms. Are you picking up the right assignment? It is so much more than just running the ball in the blocking scheme, in the pass protection. I mean, there feels like, as a Longhorn fan, I've watched Jaden Blue for a long time. But in that Cowboys offense, is he picking up everything that needs to be picked up? Is he in practice when there's a check? Is he interpreting what the call is and executing it the right way. I kind of hear that a little bit, maybe more from Stephon Jones, that, that time he missed, that was valuable time. And then Schottenheimer, you got to earn your time. Maybe it's not an effort in practice. It's are you grasping and executing properly?
Well, which could be effort. I mean, are you studying the way you should be? Are you paying attention in the meetings? There could be all of those things. And, again, you've mentioned this before, so have I. I mean, there's so many things that take place. We see Sunday afternoon. We see practice, what we were able to see. We don't see what's going on in the meeting rooms. We don't see what they're doing on their off time and how much they're studying, and all of that kind of stuff could figure into that. I like what Brian Schottenheimer seems. Obviously, Stephon Jones is Stephon Jones, and he's going to tell us what he wants to tell us. But Schottenheimer's a little more open. And I get the feeling that Schottenheimer, when he talks about Jaden Blue, there's a little bit of disappointment there.
Yeah.
And so I think some of that stems from whatever it could be, but there's something that Blue is not doing that is not sitting well with Brian Schottenheimer. I did find it interesting, though, that the Jadeveon Clowney situation is not gone, that there still could be a signing there at some point in time.
Yeah, maybe. I find it interesting, and Pledge will quickly pull that clip so we can dissect it a little bit more. You brought him in for a visit. Now I'll go. Brian Broaddus from 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. He said that the Cowboys wanted to sign Clowney. Clowney, after the visit, wanted to wait. And I can interpret that as in a couple of ways, because Stephon Jones brought up money. Did the Cowboys offer enough money? I'm going to guess no, because we know the Dallas Cowboys.
We do.
But also, if you're Clowney and you're very public in a visit to the Dallas Cowboys, does that create interest for Jadeveon Clowney? Does that help get his phone ringing a little bit more? Because if he's only got one offer right now, he's got one offer. But if he says, I got options, I'm a free agent, I need to wait, let me think about it, whatever the case might be, but you get another team interested, now you can create a little bit of a bidding war. I do buy to a degree what Stephon said, that, at this point he needs to feel comfortable, take a tour of the facility, have a meal there, see how cool everything is. Is he going to get all that makes sense, right? But in reality, you've been in the league a long time. You know what the Dallas Cowboys are. If you wanted to sign, you would have signed. My guess is, if they did want to sign him and they offered him some money, it wasn't near enough for Jadeveon Clowney. But Jadeveon Clowney can create some interest by being so public about his visit to the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, he could, but as of today, and I know it's just one day, I haven't heard of another visit for Jadeveon Clowney. Again, a guy like that, though, is kind of a gun for hire, if you will. Right? Because if somebody gets hurt at a position that he can help you in, then you make that phone call. So, it remains to be seen. And I'm with you, though, Jason. I think that there probably was an offer made. And Clowney said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. And that's kind of where that went. But Stephon did sound optimistic that could happen. So do they come back with another offer or not? I hope they don't go too high and overpay for a guy like that. I know they've got the cap room, but I'm just not sure about a Jadeveon Clowney coming into that defensive line room.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would hurt. To me, it depends on cost. And what we know about the Dallas Cowboys is, while they'll overpay for star players, they're not going to overpay in this situation. They're going to go cheap. So they might want them at a price. It's like anything else. We all have an idea of what the value is of something that we're willing to buy. I don't care what it is, whether you're going to look at a car, you might like that car, but you're not paying that kind of money for it. Maybe you want a new grill. Is it worth that money? Some people, the answer is yes. Other people, the answer is no. Do they want a Jadeveon Clowney? I don't think they bring him in if they don't want him, but at what price? At the same time, doesn't seem like they want anything to do with the Stephon Gilmore. And part of that, you heard him, They're happy with everything they have there, and this injury to Bland doesn't look like it's going to be long-term. But even if they were desperate, I don't think they're going to call Stephon Gilmore based on the way he answered that question.
Now, maybe he's just not the player that they think he should be at this point in time, or who knows what the reason is. Again, there's so many things.
It might be. They've already talked to him, and they know what it's going to take to get him off the couch, and they're not willing to pay that.
Well, and that could be,
neither is
too.
anybody else.
That could be, too. And that's what will be interesting to see about Clowney, quite frankly. I mean, because, look, it's all public. If he goes to visit, I don't know, New Orleans tomorrow, that's going to be public, and we're going to know about it. So we'll find out very quickly if there's a bidding war there. I want to just say this about the Cowboys on Sunday. If you have CD Lamb on your fantasy team and you don't start him, you're a fool.
Well,
CD Lamb called Dak Prescott. They just mentioned this. Dak and CD talked to the media today, and CD sent Dak or called him and apologized. And Dak, obviously, with being Dak, said, it's okay. He encouraged him and all of that kind of stuff. We'll find out about George Pickens and his attitude, because I'm not sure that he's going to get targeted at all.
Well,
I think CD's going to get about 12 to 15.
CD Lamb said, quote, "I didn't get any rest really that whole weekend." Again, that's the competitor that I am, and how much I'm true to the game as far as being honest and just giving it everything I got, because I love the game. I love the squad. I love the guys that I do it with. As for me, just holding my end of the bargain and just pulling through for the guys. He didn't sleep all weekend, called his quarterback and apologized. He was up early working on the jugs machine. Again, he knows.
I bet he was.
He knows that loss in a lot of ways is because of his drops.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, none of us really know if he makes that catch at the end in the fourth quarter when they had a chance to win it. We don't know that they would have scored on that.
We just don't know.
We don't. Again, that needs to be on a T-shirt. But they would have been in a better position to have the opportunity to win. If they only needed a field goal, my goodness. And I go back to, all the different plays in the game. The Eagles going and letting Jake Elliott kick a 58-yard field goal might have been the best decision of the game by either team, because that was the difference in the Cowboys needing a touchdown or a field goal to win that game. And Elliott last year sucked from 50-plus. And confidence, coaches set him out there. He nailed it. There are other plays in there, but that decision changed the strategy for Schottenheimer, because when you're down 3 versus 4, your approach is everything. And I look at some of those passes, could Dak have gone somewhere else with the ball? No, he went to the best player. The best player on the Dallas Cowboys dropped the ball.
That's where you go. And that's who he trusts the most. You can talk about George Pickens all you want. Is that trust there yet? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But you've got CD Lamb. You've worked with him, and you guys, you're the hookup. So he threw it to him, and to Dak's credit, a couple of those balls were right on the money, and they just weren't caught. And that's an issue. Whether they go on to win the game or not, I kind of think they do, because you're driving and you've got the momentum and you're going on. Look, that was just as big as the Miles Sanders fumble on the 10-yard line. I mean, that was part of it too. Cowboys are going in to score there, and that happened. So a lot of things to look at. But my point being is that I honestly believe that Dak is going to target CD, and he's going to have plenty of opportunity to make up for whatever he feels like he did against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't care if he's double teamed or what. Dak is going to throw the ball to CD Lamb.
Yeah, definitely. Although we do know, and I do like this about Dak in the game against Philadelphia last Thursday. He was aggressive. He wasn't afraid of throwing an interception. He was putting that ball into some very tight windows, into coverage, where at other points in Dak's career, there were times where it felt like if somebody wasn't, sliding glass door window open, he wasn't going to try to throw it. And on Thursday night, he was trying to throw it through the bathroom window. Uh-huh. I mean, he seemed so confident in his arm and his ability. And if he throws a pick, he's going to live with it. But he was aggressive with his placement and throwing into coverage. And seemingly throwing guys open. Dak played a hell of a game the other night.
Yeah, he did. He did. His yards weren't eye-popping.
Sure.
But it didn't matter. He did what he needed to do. And he would have had a hell of a lot more yards if CD caught 3 or 4 of those balls. So, it would have looked a little bit different.
Now, that said, Dak isn't going to be careless and stupid with the ball just to feed CD and his ego. And if the Giants are way over coverage, there's other guys that are going to be open. What did surprise me in that game against Philadelphia is that Ferguson didn't have a lot of targets. I thought he would. I thought Pickens would be more involved, and quite frankly, Tolbert. Now, some of that was just the way the offense was rolling, but ultimately, you're right. CD is gonna make some plays, but at the same time, the Giants are expecting that too. So does that have the Giants putting more coverage or playing him a little bit differently, which should leave somebody else wide open?
Well, the secondary for the Giants doesn't scare me at all, and I don't think it scares CD or Pickens or anybody else. The Giants are going to have to do is get pressure on Prescott. That's the way they stop the passing game, and I think that's the only way they get that done. So they're going to have to rely on that defensive line to create some pressure and make Dak throw the football when he doesn't want to throw it. Can they do that? I think they can. Will they do that? It's another thing. But to me, that's the only way that they're going to shut down that passing game.
Well, and again, how well will the Cowboys run the ball? I think, just thinking about Schottenheimer, and we've got one game now with him as the head coach and the play caller. But they ran the ball well. But also, when you look at the play selection and when they ran it, and you kind of go back to Mike McCarthy, runs are one thing, but when you run the ball, I really liked the way Schottenheimer had that game plan set up and the way that team was executing, because that was one of the unknowns going in. What is this team truly going to look like, since they didn't show anything in the preseason? They were disciplined. Not a lot of penalties in that game. They ran the ball well. Offensive line certainly held up in pass protection. No sacks allowed, but they created lanes. Like I said, the mistakes that were made, drops, and the one fumble. And the one fumble by a veteran guy that you didn't think would fumble.
And think about it. He had picked up 5 or 6 yards before he fumbled the football. So he was moving it. Yeah, the running game is much better, and they got to feel pretty good about that. But this is you look at this game. It's a big game for both of these teams. And the reason I say that, the Giants lost to Washington. The Cowboys lost to the Eagles. Whoever loses this game's got 2 division losses right off the bat. It's a huge game for both of these teams.
And then you think about tonight. Washington, they could be 1-1 when it, by the time the Cowboys kick off at noon Sunday.
That very true. They very well could be, or they could be 2-0. It's possible. Philly. Well, they've got the Kansas City Chiefs, so we'll see what they do. And they're going to be 1-1. I've already said that. I'm confident that Kansas City's going to win that football game. So,
but to your point, Washington not playing an NFC East opponent, Philly not playing an NFC East opponent.
Right.
Both the Cowboys and Giants, because they're playing each other, to start off the year with division opponents is pretty incredible. So, one of these teams is going to be in a pretty deep hole 2 weeks into the season.
And everybody expects the Cowboys to win this football game. Although, when you look at Vegas, that number has come down. Started at 6.5. It is now down to 5.5.
Yeah, Circa Las Vegas has the Cowboys at 5.5. And that's just where the money is going. 5.5. Yeah, I don't see this game coming down to a field goal.
No?
Right?
Well,
if it had gone to 7.5, I'd have been a little nervous. But honestly, we don't know enough about this Cowboys team on both sides of the ball. The Giants, you just kind of figure they're going to struggle scoring points regardless. We kind of thought that coming in, and they put that on display last week against Washington. That offense, outside of Malik Neighbors,
they got nothing.
I think Cam Scadaboo has a chance to be good, but right, and I think their guard is out. The Giants offensively are going to struggle. This Cowboys offense should score 30 points a game. Should. Now, granted, they got 20 last week against a hell of a defense in Philadelphia. Giants do have a good defense, but this offense that the Cowboys have should be around 30 points every game. And that could be 27, 28, 34, whatever. But you look at the weapons they have. They should be scoring a ton of points.
Well, they should be. Well, but can they? I've got a little app here, Minix. How much you want on the Cowboys? I'll put you down. You 5.5?
I mean, dude, it's coming out of your wallet, so you decide how much money you're going to give me later.
I haven't decided whether I'm betting on the Cowboys or not, or whether I stay away from that game.
I mean, you were supposed to buy lunch today and didn't. So why don't you take today's lunch money?
That's not my fault.
Make a bet for me. No, it's not your fault.
Not my fault.
Not your fault.
I was perfectly prepared to do that.
But I'm a good guy.
Well,
I'm a good guy.
There's no question about that. Never been a question about that.
I bought lunch.
Well, you did because you had to stand in line for about 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, it was right down here at the Stout House at Brook City Base. There's a place right in this same shopping center called Killer Burgers. All right, let's meet there. I was there first. And I know it's Joe's turn to buy. But then I saw the line and was like, I'm just going to get in line. And figured, well, Joe will show up and he'll jump in line and pay for this.
I showed up in perfect time.
Dude, I was sitting down with my number. Joe walked in the door like 30 seconds after I paid.
Yeah, which was perfect.
Well, for you.
It's a good thing I sat in the parking lot for about 10 minutes. I mean, that was great.
And you got your binoculars that are normally used for other things, but I think you were watching to see where I was in lines while. And so why don't you take today's lunch money and make a bet for me?
Well, what's today's lunch money? $20?
About double that.
Double. Yeah, okay. It's Killer Burger, dude. It wasn't Ruth's Chris.
I don't know. Go look at their menu.
Well, it was delicious, Minix. Thank you very much.
It was good.
It was.
I'd never been there, never heard of it, but apparently they're a big chain on the West Coast.
I tell you what, just coming over here, I haven't been over Brook City base area in a long time. And, boy, they have made some improvements over here, man. It really looks nice out here. They've done some great work, and things are looking really, really good. And you can see it for yourself. If you'd like, you can come out here to the Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are. You still have time to register for the Noche UFC tickets, a pair of them. It's going to take place Saturday night. We've already got a bunch of folks that have registered. So we're going to draw a winner here right about the end of the show, somewhere in there. So you've got about an hour or so to get on down here and take advantage of that and get yourself something to drink. A lot of folks in here having a good time, starting their weekend out a little bit early with us here on the Blitz. And, we got a lot more to talk about, Minix. I'm still see if we can get Minix to put his money where his mouth is when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys.
I just put your money where my mouth is.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You know I don't bet on the Cowboys.
Now it's your money that you need to go. You feel pretty confident it's going to be about a 30-10 ball game.
I don't think that's all what I said.
I think that's exactly what you said.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
I'm hoping.
We'll get the truth out of Minix when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I got to talk to you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and, well, they're the absolute best in the business. I know that because they've been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for so long, and they've got a long client list that is very satisfying. No kidding. And you know what's good about them being a local company? They know exactly what the weather here does to roofs in San Antonio and South Texas because they live it just like we do. So they're experts at the weather here and what it does and how it handles and what your roof does with all of that. And if you think there's something wrong with your roof, if you stand outside like I do and you see that bulge up there or whatever it is that's sticking up and you're wondering what the heck is that? Well, you don't have to worry anymore. You call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're going to send an experienced team out to inspect your roof for free. They'll come out there, they'll tell you what that bulge is, and they'll say if there's anything wrong with it or if something you need to deal with or not. But they'll let you know if something's wrong and how they can go ahead and get that taken care of for you and get it fixed. Stevens Roofing and Solar. Give them a call. Don't put it off any longer. I'm not going to do it. You don't do it either. Call them 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Presented by Just Punts. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
The UTSA football program turns 15 years old. Join us for our 15th season celebration as the Roadrunners play host to UIW in the Hometown Showdown this Saturday at 2:30 p.m. at the Alamo Dome. Log on to goutsa.com/tickets or call the UTSA ticket office at 210-458-8872 to purchase your tickets today. It's the Roadrunners hosting the Cardinals this Saturday in the Dome. Be there, because when we win, San Antonio wins.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Thinking about replacing doors or windows? Well, whether it's one, two, or all of them, for the best price and quality, I've got the company for you. Hi, everybody. This is Joe Reinagle from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. For windows and door renovations, call and compare. Whether it's a window or door project at home, or if you're a contractor, windows and door renovations. 210-284-7888. Offering a wide variety of designs, styles, and materials. Save more with window technology that helps maintain your home's temperature, making your AC work less and your electricity bill go down. They're also selling Anderson windows, and all of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the best price. Call now, 210-284-7888. Proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting our military community. For more information, look them up on Facebook as Windows and Door Renovations. Call today, 210-284-7888.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We had some big league baseball this afternoon. Unfortunately for the Astros, didn't turn out too well. They're in Toronto. They get beat by the Blue Jays by a score of 6-0. Well, the Kawhi Clippers scandal continues to go deeper. Recent reports connect Clippers minority owner Dennis J. Wong making an almost $2 million investment in aspiration, which was then paid to Kawhi $1.75 million as required through his endorsement.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons
The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we are live at the Stout House, Brooks City Base. That's where we're at. You're seeing a live picture of it if you're watching us on YouTube right now. A lot of folks out here having a great time, and you can join them as well. The show, we got about an hour or so, a little less than that, I suppose, but you got time to get out here, register to win a pair of tickets to Noche UFC happening this Saturday at the Frost Bank Center, and you can win. We're going to draw right toward the end of the show, so you still got a little time to point your car in this direction and come hang out with us. Stout House, Brooks City Base. I'm Joe Ryan Eagle. That's Jason Minix.
And look, you've got Thursday night football tonight. Packers, Washington.
Wow,
should be a good game.
Should be.
And again, if you're getting out here later, you're driving around. We will have that game for you. Thursday night football brought to you by Flight by Yingling here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And again, it's such a good time. And if you get down here and get registered, Edwin will get you taken care of. Now, I don't know where Edwin went. He had disappeared for a while.
He did.
I don't know if he met somebody and or what, but he had disappeared for a while because this gentleman walked in and he's got a Saints hat on.
Yeah.
And he's like, why do you guys hate New Orleans? I love the city of New Orleans. I'm just not a fan of the Saints.
Did he really ask that? Why we hate New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh.
He did.
Huh.
He did.
Well, we'll have to talk after the show. I'll tell you all my reasons for that.
All your reasons.
I don't hate the Saints, though. They should be the San Antonio Saints.
You know, and even then they'd be back up to the Dallas Cowboys. But you know, you're right. I mean, I've never been a Saints fan, but at the same look, I was giving us a look, right? I mean, I get it. I mean, and I asked the guy, is he truly a Saints fan? Because it's like a brand new hat, you know? So, like, are you one of those dudes that buy the hat because it goes with your outfit, right? Because you see people that way. They don't even know what team they're representing. They like the hat, the look, the color scheme, or whatever. You know, he's got a brand new hat on. And, you know, so a Saints fan or just he's like, yeah.
Well, it's a nice hat.
It's a great look.
It's a lot better than Edwin's hat. But, you know, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Edwin with his Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks out here. I love this nice Thursday afternoon here at the Stout House. And they're having a good time, kind of kicking off their weekend a little early.
Well, that's it. And then you get guys that come in, have a couple, 3 beers, and now they got to go home because, you know, their wife thinks they're still at work.
Well, it's 5 o'clock, right? Yeah. So they're getting off work right now. They got to go home and say, honey, wow, what a day. We worked hard today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But for them, hey, Friday's here, Thursday's over. Anybody else getting up at 5 o'clock, congratulations. Your Thursday's done.
Well, and again, I mean, you know, you think about the weekend that, you know, we have on tap with so many different things going on in the city. Obviously, Noche UFC happening at the Frost Bank Center. Register to win tickets here for that in the Alamo Dome. UTSA against UIW, the hometown showdown, and UTSA celebrating 15 years of playing college football, which is kind of crazy to think.
Crazy, man.
That it's only 15 years, but it's also 15 years.
Time for a quinceañera for the UTSA Roadrunners, right? It's about that time for them. It really is amazing that they're only 15 years old, and that if people have such high expectations of the football team. And Jeff Traylor's a big reason for that because of what he's done since he came in here and has kind of turned this thing around and made them a powerhouse and made those expectations what they are. But when you look at teams that they play against that have been around for 60, 70, 80 years, I mean, it's a tough road to hoe. It really is.
Well, and again, you think about a game this week for UTSA. They're in a no-win situation.
True.
They are expected to win this game going away, right? If UIW shocks the world, holy cow, right? I mean, It's one thing to lose to Texas State, and Texas State has grown into a great rival. But you do see some of these FCS teams that are upsetting, big time Division I programs, and you look at this UIW team, been a playoff team the last couple of years. I saw them 2 weeks ago in person over at Benson Stadium against Eastern Washington. Now, I watched some of their game against Nichols when we were in Las Vegas, although keep in mind, by the second half, I could barely see out at that pool. The bar bill will attest to that. But they didn't look good in that game. They fixed a lot of problems from week 1 to week 2, and they had a bye week. So they've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. Richie Torres is a hell of a quarterback, 6'5". They got a couple of really good wide receivers, one that's going to end up in the NFL. They've got another young kid that last year was playing over at Piper High School, Isaiah. And so when you look at what they have, they're going to be another team that's going to make a long playoff run. This is a huge game for UIW just from a where do we stand standpoint. But for UTSA, they win the game they're supposed to. If they don't win this game by a lot, people are going to question them. Jeff Traylor told us earlier this week, everybody was excited about this game on the schedule but him.
Yeah,
I get why.
And that's why. That's exactly why. Because they're in a no-win situation. It's kind of like the Arch Manning situation, right? He's supposed to do good. If he doesn't, he's going to get criticized and yada, yada. UTSA is supposed to win this game. They're supposed to be the big bullies in town, right? They can beat anybody. But if UIW comes in and shocks the world, they're in trouble from a couple of reasons. Number one, they're 0-3. And number two, you lost to your little brother down the street.
Dude, I don't even know if you can call him little brother.
Absolutely.
Imagine, I don't know. No offense to anybody, but Lee or MacArthur going up in a game against Steele and coming away with a win, right?
Okay, sure.
And maybe I don't know. It's just bizarre. Just bizarre.
Well, it's going to be interesting in the Alamo Dome on Saturday. That's for sure. I'm sure there's going to be another big crowd in there. Just folks wanting to see this game and folks from both schools coming out. And this is a pride game. It's one of those pride games. Now, last week was too, and it turned out to be a hell of a football game between UTSA and Texas State. But this one, again, is the same thing. It's a pride game. You talk about being fired up at UIW. They want this game more than, they want a Christmas present, I'm telling you. And this would be an early Christmas present for UIW if they come in here and get this done. I don't know if there is even a line on that game. I haven't seen it, but I have to believe UTSA wins this thing.
I would have to check to see if there's a line. We'll do that coming up, or somebody there on the YouTube chat can do the homework for us. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Tune in, subscribe, hit the like button, comment there, and let us know what the line is, because honestly, I haven't looked. Although, I know I'm going to the game. And had a couple of friends, are you going? Where are we tailgating? And, I think they just want to tag along because they know there's free beer everywhere we go.
Absolutely. That's the best part. That's one thing UTSA wins at every single week is the tailgate. They are very good at tailgating at UTSA and out there at the Alamo Dome. That is for sure. The Dallas Cowboys got a game this week, a game that they should win. It's kind of the same thing. They should win it, and if they don't, well, what in the world is going on? I just want to remind everybody, they beat Cleveland in week 1 last year and lost to the New Orleans Saints in week 2. It is no gimme, folks. No gimme at all. Tell you what is a gimme. You come out here to the Stout House at Brook City Base, and you register for tickets to Noche UFC taking place this Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. We're going to draw a winner here in about 45 minutes or so, 45 minutes. So you got time to get down here. You got time to get registered. You got time to have a cold beer or two and enjoy what is turning out to be a great Thursday. Come on down, party with us, start your weekend early. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need caps made. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock, just waiting for your logo. You need t-shirts made, go see Sam. He'll get you taken care of. If you need your logo on a nice shirt, a golf shirt, a dress shirt, a fishing shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Travis Matthew, Nike, Under Armour, Port Authority, to name a few. And they've just added Tommy Bahama to the lineup there at Sammy's Embroidery Club. So if you want a nice Tommy Bahama with your logo on it, Sam will get you taken care of. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands. Only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, right there across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Football season is at Tamalitos Mexican Restaurant with daily specials that hit harder than a linebacker and game day plates that score big. Tamalitos is your go-to plate. Proud sponsor of the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Tournament. Tamalitos, where every bite's a touchdown.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery.
I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hi. My name's Jason Thompson. I've been representing people injured in traffic collisions here in San Antonio for more than 30 years. After a collision, I've spoken to many people who wanted to believe that the other driver's insurance company would be fair and they really didn't need an attorney. They thought that the insurance company would pay their medical bills and do the right thing. I wish that were true, but trying to go it alone is a big, big mistake. If you have been injured, please know the other driver's insurance company has adjusters and attorneys working against your interest. If insurance companies were trying to get to heaven, I'd be out of a job, gladly. That is just not the world we live in, though. Call me as soon as you can if you are injured in a traffic collision. I do not charge anything to review your case with you. I'll tell you what you need to do and what you should not do. If you want a smart and fair result, you'll need to make smart decisions along the way. And that is what I do. You and I will make smart decisions for you and your family, and we'll get justice and fair results. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Who was the last guy that you're like, oh my God, I really don't want to let this guy go?
Man, I tell you what, that's a tough question. I'm going to pivot on you like most great minds do.
Well done.
It wasn't the toughest cut, but the coolest one for me was bringing Perion Winfrey in, thinking he was going to get cut, and then telling him that he made the roster.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Blitz live out of the Stout House. Brook City base. That's where we are. You got some time to get out here and register for those Noche UFC tickets Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix.
And we've got NFL football tonight as we kick off week 2. And we got to wait till Monday night for the Houston Texans to play their second game of the year. Let's talk about it with the great John McClain joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, the Texans defense played so well on Sunday against the Rams. You hold that team to 14 points and you don't win. You don't even get a touchdown. How disappointing were the Texans in that offensive effort on Sunday?
When it comes to sports in Houston right now, the only thing I can say is how about those unbeaten Houston Cougars? Because the Astros absolutely suck. They're going down the toilet. The Texans had the same problems they had last year. They couldn't protect C.J. Stroud. D'Amico Ryans told the media today he thought the offensive line played well. And I'm like, what offensive line is he talking about? It wasn't his. They were awful. And the Texans offense, it was just same old, same old. And you're right. You go on the road and you open at a team that won its division, a team that some people picked to go to the Super Bowl, a team with a great defensive line. You give up 2 touchdowns, you ought to win. And as bad as they stunk it up, they had a chance to win in the end. The only time they got in the red zone, a pass to backup running back Dari Gumbawali, and he fumbled. Game over. They lose by 5. I picked them to lose by 7. Now I pick them beat Tampa Bay by 3 because they've been blasted so much here. I think that they'll come out and be a different team.
You know, John, what I was, and I know it was a bad game for every Houston Texan and every Texan fan, but I was impressed by C.J. Stroud coming out and criticizing his team. Now, he went back in the day and used lollygagging, but I was impressed that he came out and said something.
Well, that's part of being a leader. He's got more responsibility this year in the huddle at the line of scrimmage. I felt bad for him again because the pass protection was so bad. And I blame part of that on coaching. They've got 5 new starters at all 5 positions. The only one that's back is Titus Howard, who was left guard last year, right tackle, now then right guard. And they came out and they needed a right guard to replace Ed Ingram. Why they didn't go with Juice Scruggs, a former second-round pick who had to play near the end of last season and played well. Then they put the injured Shaq Mason back in. He was awful against Kansas City. Now he can't get a job. Instead, they moved 3 guys around against what probably is second best defensive front in the NFL, and they paid for it. The only bright spot, well, I'll say this, Stroud was throwing on the run a lot out of necessity. He made some really good throws. He had 3 sacks that averaged 12 yards, and the last one was his fault because he should have stepped up in the pocket. Instead, he turned and ran right into a guy getting a sack, and I felt bad for the offensive lineman, and who probably got the blame, but it wasn't the lineman's fault. It was Stroud's fault. And Nico Collins, they could have put him on the side of a milk carton and not found him. He had 3 catches, and they got schooled on coaching by Sean McVay, who got the ball to Puka Nacua 10 times for 131 yards, and Nico couldn't do squat. And but yeah, Stroud played well enough to win that game. The offensive line did not. The biggest bright spot to me was running back Nick Chubb, who averaged 4.6 yards a carry. And if he can handle the workload, they need to get him the ball more. And the interior run blocking was good.
Yeah, that it was. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's been covering Houston sports in the NFL since, I don't know, before time. John, so I set that up. C.J. Stroud is the one quarterback in the NFL. And I know he's got offensive line issues, and there's running back issues. But he seems to be the one quarterback that can avoid criticism and blame when his team fails to get into the end zone. You even said played well enough to win. He only threw for 188, took a couple of bad sacks. Why does CJ not get the criticism other NFL quarterbacks do when the team's offense doesn't perform well?
Because I think people watch the game and see how bad the offensive line is. You saw Kansas City pressure come from Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes had a worse game. And Stroud goes through that every game. And so I think if you watch the game or you go back and watch the tape, you'll see how many times he takes the snap and boom, one of the linemen gets beat. They get confused by stunts again. And so I think that's the reason. He has gotten some criticism here, but most of it is things that he said he should be criticized for. But I think if he came out and had good, decent protection and threw a bunch of interceptions, that'd be different. He had one interception, a deep ball down the right sideline, in which the DB made a great play to take the ball away from a rookie receiver. And that was not Stroud's fault. So really, he had no interceptions that were his fault, but they couldn't get the ball inside the 20-yard line. And Nico Collins was double covered, did a great job. And they couldn't find the other receivers.
You're talking about criticism for C.J. Stroud or non-criticism. What about D'Amico Ryans, John? Is he starting to feel some heat? I don't think he should, but it seems like Texan fans are getting impatient, especially with the offensive line issues they've had.
They're impatient at the offense. Nick Caley, it's one game for Caley, but if they hadn't had all those issues last year, the criticism of Caley wouldn't be near what it is. But he's first-time offensive coordinator, first-time play caller. Bobby Slowick went through that in 2023, and he was everybody's fair-haired boy. Then last season, he couldn't adjust to the adjustments that defensive coaches were doing after they changed the strategy against the Texans. And Caley is very highly thought of, but so is Slowick. So people are just exasperated at the offensive line, especially when you put so many resources into it. Nick Caserio's done a great job of drafting at every area of the team but one.
Very true.
Very true.
John McClain here on the Blitz. Monday night, Texans hosting Tampa Bay. And as much as we talk about that Texans defense, and you just said you think Houston wins that game by 3, how do they slow down that passing attack? Mike Evans is a handful to begin with. Bucky Irving has proven to be a solid runner that can also catch out of the backfield. And that rookie they got from Ohio State, 4 catches last week and 2 touchdowns. He looks like he's already NFL ready.
Texans have 2 really good corners. And I just watched a great thing with Dan Orlovsky pointing out what Sean McVay did to get Puka Nacua away from Derek Stingley Jr. and force a linebacker to cover him. It was strategy, and he did a great job. And it was the defense was unable to adjust to that. But still, they only gave up 2 touchdowns. The Texans' run defense is good. They don't blitz a lot. They prefer to rush 4. They line up their 3 linebackers or 2 and a safety together. So I don't think Bucky Irving's going to be able to run for a lot of yards. Mayfield threw 3 touchdown passes in the victory over Atlanta, where they were lucky to win when the Falcons kicker missed a field goal that would have forced it into overtime. But if the Texans do lose this game, you talk about criticism, D'Amico Ryans is going to get it for the first time since he was in Philadelphia and played the Texans. And I'll say this, they've that offensive line, they don't do things like they got to run draws, run screens, do everything to try to keep the pass rushers from just crashing the line, which is what they do, and they get away with it. And they run some stunts, and they get away with that. And these are all new guys, except for Ursery. They're all veterans, been in the league a long time, but it was a collective collapse again, and I look for improvement because I don't think they could be worse. Sorry.
Well, you just answered my question. I guess you think they could be better. I got to believe that when they just revamp the entire offensive line for all intents and purposes, that these guys will get better when they play together a little bit more. The question is Stroud going to be upright when that happens? But I have to believe they're going to be better moving forward, John.
He survived last year. If he can survive that, he should be able to survive this. And I think I told you guys last week, because I said this on every show, we'd be crazy to think an offensive line with starters, new starters, should all of a sudden be a cohesive unit. They don't play in preseason anymore. I did an event last night in New Braunfels, and I interviewed Tall Jones, Robert Brazile, Greg Swindell, Tony Franklin, and Cat Osterman as part of the program. And one of the things I asked Brazile and Tall what they think about the NFL today not playing in preseason, and both of them said it was terrible. If they had played 15 years, Dr. Doom played 10, and they were talking about they would not have been able to be as good or as effective if they hadn't played in preseason. And so it especially hurts an offensive line because they can't hit through the offseason, can't put on pads, and when they're all new, they're still just learning the communicative part. So I think they'll be better in this game because I don't know what the injury situation is, but they've got a game under their belt, and I blame a lot of that on coaching because you can't make chicken salad, blah, blah, blah. And they brought in through free agency, trades in the draft, new linemen, and in this game against the Rams, they didn't look any better than they looked last season, despite D'Amico Ryan saying he thought they played well.
Very true. The great John McClain. I don't want to put you in a sour mood, but I think the Astros already did that this afternoon, getting shut out. Their lead in the AL West is down to half a game. Seattle's been playing great. They play later tonight. So are the Astros really going to blow this, or will they get their stuff together in time for the postseason?
No, they won't. They've been in pennant races more than any team except the Dodgers. And you would think at a time like this, their best, most experienced players who know what it's like to play in the pressure of a playoff race would be their best. Jose Altuve has just been awful. He's the worst base runner I have ever seen. We see it almost every game. Brain dead moves happened again last night when 2 nights ago when they blew a 3-1 lead in the ninth. Christian Walker, their first baseman, averaged 31 homers, 94 RBIs the last 3 years for Arizona. Won't come close to that. He's almost into the 220s, and they've been healthy. Now, Yordan Alvarez has been tremendous since he came back. You'd think that would give him a boost. Carlos Correa has been real good, but they just can't hit. They can't hit with runners in scoring position, and if they blow it, I expect a lot of change. Not manager Joe Espada, but I think they're going to have, I'm guessing, new medical staff, rehab staff, new hitting coach, because this team is gone down the toilet at a time when it ought to be swimming faster than anybody else. But it looks like they're just ready for the season to be over, and that's bad.
Yeah, it really is. The Mariners have the Angels later tonight. And again, you could wake up tomorrow morning and find them tied, which would be awful.
Might be good if they. Hey, excuse me, Jason. It might be good if they fall out of first place. They did great to get into first place and hold on to first place. But let's be honest, a lot of that was because the Mariners were playing like a bunch of dogs. Now they're turning it on. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't finish in third place behind the Mariners and Rangers based on the way they're pitching. They've lost 3 series in a row. Now they're going to Atlanta. Probably lose that one when they come home to play the Rangers.
It's
Well, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Yeah, I'll find out on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John was there for that event too. He's got it all. John, always appreciate it, my friend. Have a great weekend.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you very much.
The great John McClain on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
You know, the great John McClain, you can't ever tell if he's upset or if he's happy. You really can't tell, can you?
I mean,
I'm joking, obviously.
I listen to you every day.
I'm joking. He's clearly disgusted with the Houston Astros and the Houston Texans, for that matter. So we'll see if they get any better this Monday night. It's the early game Monday night. 2 Monday night football games coming up this Monday. Houston Texans, Tampa Bay Bucks are the first game. All right, you're running out of time to get down here to the Stout House, Brook City base. That's where we are to register to win a pair of tickets for Noche UFC. Get on down here. We're going to draw right around 6 o'clock, before we go off the air. So you got a little bit of time, but not much. You're running out. So get on down here and join us. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And you think about that Texans game coming up Monday night, the Blitz on Monday, live at the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. And that's my home away from home. No better place to go watch any big game, any big fight. Saturday night at the Roo, they're going to have both Noche UFC and the Canelo fight, plus all the football. Then Sunday, Cowboys play at noon. And when you get into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food, incredible. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love the fried shrimp. They've got incredible hot dogs. I'm told the salads are great, the appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day. Full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic Afterparty, happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of Sports Star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Fuel up like a champ at Tamalitos Mexican Restaurant, your San Antonio spot for daily lunch specials and game day flavor. Proud sponsor of the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Tournament. Swing by Tamalitos today, where every bite is a win.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for the rights of San Antonians for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. What is something you see often as a personal injury attorney and protecting your clients?
The one thing we always see without fault in a case is that the insurance company will always reach out to them soon after the collision, and they try to get them to agree to a low settlement. They try to get them to agree to signing a piece of paper. They want them essentially to sign their rights away without ever even consulting with an attorney. Right? In the grand scheme of things, if you sign a piece of paper, you're signing your future interest away. So that's why it's so important to call the Gomez Law Firm, because we make sure we protect your rights, and you're not signing your life away. You're not signing your rights away.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then call the Gomez Law Firm first. 210-736-4040 or visit joegomezlaw.com. Protect your family and protect your rights.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Football season is at Tamalitos Mexican Restaurant with daily specials that hit harder than a linebacker and game day plates that score big. Tamalitos is your go-to plate. Proud sponsor of the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Tournament. Tamalitos, where every bite's a touchdown.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Stout House, Brooks City base. That's where we have been all afternoon. It's been a great afternoon here. Folks here have been friendly and very nice to us. A lot of folks getting registered for the Noche UFC tickets for the event this Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. We're going to be drawing that in about 10 minutes or so, right around there. And Kat has graciously volunteered to draw our winning ticket.
Yeah, so get to the YouTube channel if you're not getting into Stout House, because, we've got Cat here at Stout House. The morning guys have their stupid cat. Kitty Big Balls.
Whatever that is.
We're going to compare. I think we win.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I think we win. But all you guys watching on YouTube, and ladies for that matter, you guys can judge.
There's no comparison.
Well, I know that.
Whatsoever.
I know that.
No comparison.
I mean.
They have Kitty Big Balls. We have Kitty Big something else.
All different KBB.
Exactly right. Yeah. But
I just have that song playing basketball in my mind.
Oh,
absolutely.
My goodness. Yes.
As you think about speaking of the morning guys, they do have Brian Schottenheimer bright and early tomorrow morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Earlier today, we talked with Stephen Jones, and Twitter is all over the place when it comes to Jadeveon Clowney. He was in for a visit. Some reports saying, Cowboys aren't going to sign him. We asked Stephen Jones, what's the interest level with Jadeveon Clowney in the future?
No, they're still we're still looking at him and seeing how this thing's going to work out. But certainly he's the guy that we're looking at who could give us some help on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could. Perhaps. I think they're loaded with some young guys here. I'd rather see them play, but if they think Clowney can help, well, and it's the right price, then bring him in.
All right, so most of us, and we've been, football fans forever. You see a player come in, they leave without a contract, you figure it's dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, what goes into these kind of visits if it's not necessarily dead, Stephen Jones?
Well, the biggest thing on someone like Jadeveon is just to get to know him and kind of see what his plan is and what his thoughts are. And obviously, he's a guy who hadn't been in a camp, and but there's veterans, that's kind of their plan. And we've had those type who've really worked out for us in a positive way. But just to spend time, let him get to know us, our teammates, because a lot of guys like that are certainly wanting to find the right. Not only, the money's got to be right, but also the right situation. And it was a great opportunity for him to get to see what our organization's all about, to meet Coach Schottenheimer and his staff, to meet Jerry and I and Will, to get to know the facility. I think he was certainly impressed with that. And but that's really what goes into the visit. Not as much about the workout with someone like that. He's a guy who keeps himself in shape and, played at a high level for, 10 plus years in the NFL.
Jason, I don't know. And I don't know what the Cowboys offered him, if they offered him anything or what he's looking for. But if you're a Jadeveon Clowney, I would think this would be an opportunity for you if the Cowboys offer something to come in and end your career with a team like the Dallas Cowboys. I think it'd do you a world of good.
Well, it would, but also, what does he want? Is he looking for a place where he could actually get to a Super Bowl? Because that's not Dallas. Is he looking to get the most money? So Brian Broaddus, who works at 105.3 The Fan in the Cowboys radio network, says that the Cowboys wanted to sign him. Clowney said, let me think about it. So one of two things, and both could be absolutely true. The Cowboys lowballed the offer. None of us would be surprised if they were nowhere near what Jadeveon Clowney was asking for.
I'd be surprised if they were. That's when I would have been surprised.
But we also know it's the Dallas Cowboys. If they're showing interest, does that make his phone ring? Because if his phone isn't ringing, how do you create some interest? Cowboys are looking at you and we know this to be true. Every time there's a free agent signing or a free agent, agents will put out Cowboys are interested because that creates other interest. Maybe he's trying to create a bidding war. He can't do that if it's only the Cowboys. So let me wait. Let me go home and think about it for a minute. Let me see if I can get the phone to ring. Does that help up the offer some from the Dallas Cowboys? But the other part tells me Cowboys aren't desperate. The Cowboys would like to have him at the right price. If they were desperate, he wouldn't have left that building without a deal.
No, they're not desperate. They've got the most depth of any position, except maybe wide receiver, on the defensive line. They're in good shape there. And so I'm not even sure what the flirtation with this guy is, but if they think he could come in and help, so be it. But again, the Cowboys are in a position with Jadeveon. They say, okay, this is it, take it or leave it. If you don't want it, we're okay. I really believe that the Cowboys are okay with or without Jadeveon Clowney.
Now, one of the guys, and I've been saying this for months, that I would like to see back in a Cowboys uniform is Stephon Gilmore. And now DaRon Bland's out. He won't play this week, likely to miss a couple of weeks. Stephen, not overly concerned about this being a long-term injury for Bland, and doesn't sound like Gilmore is welcome in Dallas.
Well, I think right now, we're hoping it's on the shorter end of, of the 2 to 3 weeks. The great news is we're getting Diggs back, and he's going to, be able to get a lot of this game. So that part of it's good, and Kyrie's playing good, and hopefully, we've got some other young guys on the roster who are going to get opportunities. So right now we feel like we're in pretty good shape, especially since we don't expect this Bland injury to be extensive or take a long time.
And we'll translate that. We're playing the New York Giants this week, and they have only got one wide receiver. So we're okay. Trayvon Diggs can handle that. If he needs a little help, so be it. We're not in any hurry to sign a corner.
Yeah, Diggs probably going to get more than 30 snaps this week. What do you have, 27 last week? But I just the school of thought. Okay with those young corners. But the young defensive linemen that I'm excited to see, they want to talk to Jadeveon Clowney. Make that make sense.
Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but they feel like they need a little help there. I don't know why. I think Kenny Clark did a good job, and I think the ends did a good job as well. And so I'm not sure what they're doing. I would like to see these young guys play and see what they've got there. And obviously, the Cowboys don't feel the same way, or maybe they do, and this was just a shot in the dark. Who knows?
It's going to be interesting to see. Cowboys and Giants, again, Sunday at noon, a game you can listen to here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. It is a Thursday, and you know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We get you ready for the weekend. We call it What's on Tap, and it's brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Go to samsburgerjoint.com for their full lineup. You can get your tickets, see their menu. They got the Peterson brothers on the Sam's Burger Joint stage tonight. Tomorrow night, Sidewalk and Skeletons. Not sure what that means. Saturday night, a really good Tom Petty tribute band called the Damn Torpedoes. Tuesday, Billy Blues All-Star Reunion. Next Wednesday, Nate Miller.
Very nice. Tonight out of Green Hall, Ben McPeak is out there. At the Aztec Theater, Natalie Jimenez. La Jimenez USA Tour 2025 taking place out there. Majestic Theater, Jeff Goldblum.
Wow.
And the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. I didn't know Jeff Goldblum sang. Does he? I did not know that. Freeman Coliseum.
What's a Snitzer Orchestra?
Well, it's an orchestra. I'm not sure what kind of music they play, but they're
orchestra.
They're a schnitzer. At the Moody Center tonight, Old Dominion, presented by Stand Together. How good is that? ACL Live, Amistad, and Will Burkhardt is at the LOL Comedy Club tonight. Schnitzer.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Friday night. Green Hall, Giovanni and the Hired Guns. Stable Hall at the Pearl has William Clark Green. Freeman Coliseum has what the hell is this pledge? The Great Junk Hunt. That could be all kinds of things.
Could be.
Don't tell me about your Schnitzer. Vibes Event Center has Dark Angel. Suicide Boys up at Germania Insurance Amphitheater. And Allo Block at ACL Live. I got nothing.
Saturday night. We've been promoting it for the last couple of weeks. It is the Noche UFC taking place at the Frostbank Center Saturday night. The Alamo Dome Saturday afternoon, UTSA taking on UIW. That should be great. Green Hall has Giovanni and the Hired Guns. Floors Country Store, Jamie Johnson. ACL Live, the Swell Season 2025 North American Tour. Back in Black at the Bluebonnet Palace, an AC/DC tribute. That'll be a lot of fun. Pick's Bar Finding Friday, which also should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Sunday, Green Hall has the Kevin Fox Band. ACL Live has Caskey, Black Sheep 5 Tour with Click Clack.
Click Clack.
Sometimes I wonder if Pledge just makes stuff up.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Well, they need some stuff. We'll let's make that up. If anybody's going to Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, and we need a report tomorrow.
Yeah, we definitely do. Tuesday night up at Germania Insurance is Lil Wayne. That'll be wow. That'll be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Always those midweek shows in Austin.
Lil Wayne, that'd be a fun show to go to, I think. Mm-hmm. It would be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you're about to see us draw live the winner of the Noche UFC tickets we're giving away courtesy of Bud Light. As soon as Kat, who is behind the bars, mixes that drink, she will head over here. That's not for us, by the way.
Well, it should be, but Kat's very busy today.
Well, she is busy, but she understands what we're doing here. And
that's why she's trying to hurry. Look at her.
That was a pretty heavy pour.
That was nice.
That was.
Wow, Kat's going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
Now we need to get Kat over here.
Yeah.
And Pledge, can you put us on the Stout House camera?
Yep. All right, Kat over here. All right, Kat.
Here you go, Kat.
You stand. You come a little closer. All right.
Hold on. Yeah. Everybody needs to see you.
Yep. Those watching on YouTube, there we go. All right. So Kat works here at the Stout House. Shake that up really good. You gotta make sure you shake that up really good.
Nice. Very
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Now reach in and pull out a name, because you're gonna pull out a name, and that person's gonna win tickets to Noche UFC.
All right. Here we go.
That's a really bad drum roll.
Well, that's all I got. Okay. It is Antonio Ravazira.
Yeah, good enough.
Antonio Ravazira.
Yeah.
All right, you will be getting your tickets to the Noche UFC courtesy
You're putting all his
of
information
Bud Light.
out there on film.
Oh, well, they can't see that. They can't see that.
No, they're looking at Kat anyway.
Well, of course they are. They're mesmerized. Kat, thank you.
Is a Kat with a C or a K? C or a K?
Kat with a K.
So truly KBB. Yes. All right.
Yeah, which is better. Antonio on our YouTube page says much better. Our Cat versus theirs.
What?
That was entertaining.
Miguel's complaining about her shaking. I mean,
you guys.
It's amazing how the numbers just went up on
didn't
YouTube
they, though?
with Cat.
Well,
with a K.
I'm just saying. How would you pronounce this?
Let me see.
Ravizza. Raviza? Ravapizza? Raviza. Mamma mia.
Edwin, make sure
that
Antonio gets his tickets to the UFC Noche.
Thank you, Edwin. You did a fine job today, young man.
Look at that comment from Miguel. There's a song like that.
There could be.
Yeah. I need a cold beer now.
Well, I do too. We gotta put out these flames, right?
Yeah.
Pledge, you got a show tonight?
I do.
All right. Extra Innings with Pledge is coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Don't forget, tune into the Morning Huddle tomorrow, because Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, will be visiting with Rob and AJ tomorrow morning. And Jason and I will be out at Steele High School tomorrow night, getting ready for a little high school football and getting you ready for a big football weekend. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Have a great night.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.